Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Temperatures through this evening will continue to cool off to the 30s and 40s. It'll be sunny and windy into this afternoon. Then overnight into Saturday morning will drop to around 30 degrees. Comfortable afternoons in the 50s and 60s this weekend.
Center for Stanko, and he shot right in. They score! Out in front, Jackson Blake. There's your traffic trip. Chance for Hogan. He scores! A power play goal! The Canes, Sebastian Aho. Jarvis with a one-timer. He scores! Oh, that was puck movement and a quick release. Knocks him off, sent back, and a massive save. Kochetkov follow up on Forsberg with a denial. Svechnikov with the intercept, trying to get it to Aho. He does Aho, empty net, bingo!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. On a Friday, getting you set for the weekend, getting you set for the holidays. There's a bowl game going on, so it's officially bowl season. There's a gigantic Panther game this weekend. It's a hockey night in Carolina. There's big college basketball across the country. We are in the sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to enjoy it. I'm Tim Donnelly, Max Gorin producing the show today as we send you off into the weekend the right way. Thank you for starting your weekend with us. We do have a final CanesMas present to give away at 4:45. So all my big Carolina Hurricanes fans out there, you want to make sure you are tuned in at that point. And for not just Canes fans, but all sports fans, right now it's time for the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. As we speak, there's 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in the first quarter. NC State 7-zippy lead over Memphis. First of all, there was a groundswell online about more opt-outs happening than actually were. Hollywood Smothers opted out. We talked about that yesterday. Running back with a ton of value built up. He'll get paid. But I also think that was a bit of a business decision from NC State because they have Duke Scott, who they're very comfortable with, as their next guy stepping up at running back. Pretty much everybody else is playing. And that makes it so much more fun, but also so much more expectant of a win against Memphis because Memphis has coaching changes and a couple players in the portal, whatever you want to call it. And they've looked like it. The first drive was fantastic for NC State. C.J. Bailey looked like the best player on the field, and that's exactly what you want to have happen. I have a little stat here. Shout out to Corey Smith, Pack Pride. On the opening drive for NC State, C.J. Bailey went 2 for 2 passing for 45 yards, also had 2 rushes for 21 yards and a touchdown. And as Corey pointed out, his over-under for rushing yards in the game was 17.5. He had more than that and a touchdown on the ground on the first drive. And now look at, goodness gracious, if you're watching the game. Noah Rogers just hurdled the dude. NC State into this one a little bit more than Memphis, and they better win, which does lead me to one of the all-time Dave Doran conversations. If they win this one and do so dramatically, right, they have some highlights, as we just saw. C.J. Bailey looks great. The players look great. How many times can we have they ended the season with momentum? Next year's the big year for Dave Doran conversation. We've had it so many times. Here's Dave Doran on what he can take away from bowl games and carry over into next year.
Well, every practice rep matters for these guys in their development. And so, being an early bowl game, we didn't get as many practices as we normally would. So it's a little bit different playing on the 19th versus the 29th or 27th, 28th in those windows. So we maximized the time we had. I could tell you selfishly, I wish we had a lot more time. But, you do get more reps. I mean, Adrian Farrow is a great example. I thought he really flashed in these last couple weeks of the season in practice. You can see his confidence is growing. His understanding of the scheme is getting better each week. And so the more you get practice time with players, the more opportunities you have to help them improve. And this is no different, and Adrian's a really good example of that. And it is a kind of a platform for you to go into off-season conversations, because 9 more practices, and what did those mean? What did you learn? How can you grow? These are things we saw that we think that you can do better. And so, that's what this is all about. It's trying to help these guys become the best versions of themselves, and more opportunities on the field means more opportunities for conversation about that.
While we were listening to Dave Doran right there, another touchdown scored by NC State. Wesley Grimes took an absolute shot.
Yeah, he got licked.
But stayed there was a possibility he would have been down at the 1 yard line. So he took the hit, had the wherewithal to make one last move to get into the end zone. Now he's catching his breath. I think there's some wind knocked out situation. But I don't know. I want to do the thing that we've done so many times with State. All right, they finished well, won X amount of their last 6 games, and everybody's going. They need to play well from the beginning of a year, regardless of how the last year ended. But still, for portal purposes and everything you heard Coach say, I think it's good to have a good game in the bowl game, and they're off to a hot start, 13-0, still in the first quarter, point after touchdown pending. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
Panthers-Bucs Sunday. Not for all the marbles, but for a lot of the marbles. Whoever wins this one is in the driver's seat to make the postseason. Whoever wins this one's in the driver's seat to win the division. Not to mention the mental edge that comes with beating you once and everything else. I talked about it yesterday. A massive part of this game is stopping Mike Evans. If you look at the history that Mike Evans has against Carolina, it is dramatic, right? If you took the last 17 games, the last season's worth of games he's played against Carolina and said those were his career averages, he'd be the best wide receiver in the history of the game.
I remember when I was 11, 12 years old, watching Panthers games, and Mike Evans would always just be frying the Panthers.
And I went through all of this yesterday, but I enjoy it, so I'm going to do it one more time. His rookie year, the Carolina Panthers were led in interceptions by Roman Harper. His rookie year, Josh Norman wasn't even a full-time starter yet. So the entire Josh Norman, roller coaster was just getting started. His rookie year, Luke Kuechly led the NFL in tackles. His rookie year, you still had 3 or 4 more years of Sean McDermott as the defensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers. So think of how long he's been with Buffalo. I say all of that to say this. It's no secret that when this division matches up against the Bucs, Mike Evans levels up. And I thought it was interesting. Dave Canales noted earlier this week that Sean Smith's referee crew, the crew that's going to be on the game for Panthers-Bucs, has a history of pass interference calls. They are a heavy pass interference team. So it makes it even more important that you do a great job on Mike Evans and you don't get caught being too physical, too handsy. Because he inherently, like Mike Evans also, is a physical dude that gets called for more offensive pass interferences than most wide receivers, but he just draws the physicality out of a defense. So, if he catches 80, 90, 100 yards and gets another 30, 40, 50 yards in pass interference, it's going to be really tough for the Carolina Panthers to keep up.
That's a coach paying attention to the finer details right there. Scouting the ref crew to see what the penalty tendencies are.
I think if you aren't paying attention, you aren't doing your job. But they are, I said it yesterday, J.C. Horn should demand to travel with Mike Evans. He's one of the only guys that can match that physicality while also being skilled in the league. So,
and he needs a bounce back too.
Yeah, and there's part of that as well. I think the guys that have done the best job against Mike Evans are the ones that draw him into scraps. When you think of Lattimore, when you think of a few others, they stoop to his level, if you will. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
Carolina Hurricanes have a busy couple of days. Today they are at Florida, meaning at the Florida Panthers, which just to get ahead of it, I'm going to say Florida Panthers and Carolina whatevers. I'm going to mess up the Panthers 100 times today. So I'm going to do my best. Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Carolina Panthers. It'll just all be confusing. But the Carolina Hurricanes are playing the Florida Panthers tonight at 7. Tomorrow they do the Florida back-to-back. They play at the Lightning in Tampa Bay. So it is a busy game against teams with a lot of, experience, pedigree, whatever you want to call it. We're going to get a bussy night tonight, so everybody's going to be excited for that. At least he was in the starter's crease during the prep. We are not going to have Jordan Martinook tonight. He's still dealing with the injury suffered last game against Nashville. And I believe that's it for the nuts and bolts, which, by the way, then you would expect Jesperi Kotkaniemi to draw back in, according to what Rod Brindamore has told the media. And that means Eric Robinson will skate likely with the, we call it the Stahl-Martinook line, but it'll be the Stahl-Carrier-Robinson line tonight. So there's kind of the tangible things about tonight's game. What you're going to hear me talk a lot about when it comes to the Carolina Hurricanes is how much their depth has stood out. Right? I saw it was kind of like a throwaway stat, but it is crazy. During the Nashville game, Eric Robinson, who we just talked about, Canes forward, recorded the top speed in the NHL. This year, he has registered the fastest GPS time, 23.3 miles per hour during a burst in the team's win in Nashville. That's a personal best for him. It also ranks in the 96th percentile as a personal best amongst all league skaters. And it's the fastest time or fastest speed this year.
It was the fastest speed the other night.
Oh, sorry, fastest speed the other night.
Connor McDavid has the fastest speed of the year, 24.61 miles per hour.
Basically what I'm getting at is, by the way, there was just an interception. I think that was Caden Fordham for NC State, returned it almost for a touchdown. State is rolling 14 to zippy.
They're tired of losing bowl games.
Well, it's still a long game to go, but they've started well. But thank you for correcting me. The fastest time of the night was by Eric Robinson, 23.3 miles per hour, as it says in my notes, and I should have read them. But my point is, Eric Robinson is not the one you think of when you think of the most skilled or most talented skater on the Carolina Hurricanes. And it got me thinking about how every night you go into it with the Canes as there's a legit question on who's going to stand out today? Who's going to make the one play? Who's going to, and it could come from the fourth line. It could come from the third pairing. Right? I mean, how crazy is it? And part of it is due to the injury. But they've kind of been skating Slavin and Nikishin as a third pairing on the defensive line, on the blue line. That's absurd. And it's not like they had scrubs that were filling in at the top two pairings. The depth to me is something that is really exciting. And then you just think of all the different ways that comes to life, right? Aho breaks out of his 5-game pointless streak with a 3-point night, 2 goals. They had won the previous 4, and Sebastian Aho was on a pointless streak. That is a really impressive depth of roster. Even something as crazy as the Brandon Bussey deal. Not that long ago, he was a distant third goalie off waivers for the Carolina Hurricanes. Now he's playing, he's breaking NHL records, or at least coming close to them.
You know what's? I was pulling up the NHL Edge stat website. We were talking about Eric Robinson, and something interesting. Andrei Svechnikov is the league leader in offensive zone time, 50.4%. Yep. He also has the least amount of defensive zone time, 32%. So when that line is on the ice, I mean, they're getting to the net.
We've had this conversation a bunch, but where's Aho and Jarvis?
It doesn't have the list. It just says Andrei Svechnikov is the leader.
Because that line just possesses the puck forever. And
here we go. Yep, top 10. Yep. Aho is 4th. Jarvis is tied for 5th.
Now, I want to be clear here. That's obviously a good thing. I do think it's one of those, like, it might be too good. Like, shoot the puck. You know what I mean? Don't just pass it around in the offensive zone forever and ever and ever.
You have to be in the offensive zone to shoot it, though.
No, I agree. It's like, it's very good. Again, I want to be clear, it's very good.
Blake and Ehlers are also 8 and 9 on that list.
But it's part of it is just the way they play prioritizes that above what I think some other teams might prioritize.
And Gostisbehere is also number 3. So out of the top 10 in offensive zone time, 6 of them are Carolina.
So I do think that's a bit of a choice. You know what I mean? Not to take anything away from
those. I mean, if it's their style, for sure.
And it is 100% a good thing. It's just, I don't think those are like the best possessors of the puck in the league. As good as they are and as deep as the team is, I don't think they have, 6 of the top 10 in the NHL. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. They do play tonight at Florida. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. You can also hear it on the 99.9 The Fan app. And at about, 4:33, we will take first goal scorer predictions. Looking forward to hearing who you think will score the first goal for the Canes and in what period you think they will score it. There's so much going on in sports in our neck of the woods that there's a top 20 college basketball matchup in Madison Square Garden, and it didn't make the big 3 at 3. Stick around. That's coming up next.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, this is your last week, your last chance to sign up for the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center to save 20%. Contact them now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and use the promo code LOSEIT when you sign up. That way you can save 20%. That deal runs out on Friday, December 19th, so take advantage of it right now. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is the right thing for you, bring any questions and health concerns that you might have, and decide if you want to go forward with the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've done that in 4 months. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. Results may vary.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Max, excellent job producing, coming back with New York, when we were supposed to talk about the the Duke-Texas Tech game at Madison Square Garden tomorrow at 8, men's basketball, top 20 matchup. I'll give you that tip. We'll probably come back to this game shortly, but I have some breaking news, so go ahead and fire up the breaking news sounder if you don't mind. This according to a report from the Field of 68 and Jeff Goodman. North Carolina, meaning the North Carolina Tar Heels, men's basketball teams, Seth Trimble, who injured his forearm in a weight room accident earlier last month, is expected to make his return to the lineup tomorrow against Ohio State in Atlanta, according to the sources that have told the Field of 68.
Wow, I feel like that's a lot sooner than originally was anticipated.
There's been a bit of a pendulum swing with him. When it originally happened, it was kind of like indefinite, no one knows, freak accident, is, arm broken, whatever it was. Earlier this week, Hubert Davis did say that he had been playing a little 5-on-5 at practice. And that's the sort of thing where it's like, well, if you're playing 5-on-5 in practice, what's the difference? You know what I mean? Obviously, you're a little bit more protected, and coach has the whistle, and your own guys are going to protect you more than a competitive game situation. But you're usually not far away once you're playing 5-on-5. So once I heard that, I'm not unbelievably surprised that he's playing soon. I'm pretty surprised that he's playing tomorrow against Ohio State in Atlanta. For a few reasons. One, if you look at UNC's schedule, they've been, first of all, they're good, right? If they had lost 3 or 4 games already and they needed a power conference, non-conference win, maybe it'd be different. But they are 10-1, and they have wins over power conference teams already, right? Kansas when they were nationally ranked, Kentucky when they were nationally ranked. And they're 2 games away from conference schedule. Right, they have Ohio State, East Carolina, Florida State, and I would have expected, if you can get them as much rest as possible before conference play, maybe a tune-up against ECU. But with ECU only being a couple days, maybe Ohio State makes a lot of sense. I'm interested to see how they choose to play their lineup with Seth Trimble back. They have been running Kyan Evans at the 1, a transfer point guard, Luka Bogovat, and Jaron Stevenson on the wing, although they're very different players. Jaron Stevenson, 6'10", whatever he is. Luka Bogovat, more of a shooter wing guy. I don't know who goes to the bench if that's their starting kind of 3 on the perimeter. I think Kyan Evans would be the one that's been producing the least, but he's also the one with the most natural point guard skills. And I'm not sure you want Seth Trimble to be initiating the offense and everything. He has that ability, but I think he's more impactful as an off-ball guard. So Hubert Davis has pushed the right buttons. He's pulled the right strings up to this point this year. You're not doing anything to mess with what's going on with Caleb Wilson and Henry Vasar down low. But this is a conversation. This is something that they're going to have to discuss and figure out.
Yeah, I don't know if it all depends on his health status, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if he's 100% or like
90%. They're putting him on a pitch limit.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll start him right away just because maybe they want to ease him back into the fold. My guess is probably it'll be Bogovat that'll come off the bench, but again, I'm sure they'll try a couple different permutations. And who knows? Maybe Seth Trimble isn't good enough to start immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Again, maybe they'll have kind of like a pitch count for him, a minutes restriction, but I'm sure they'll be able to tinker with it a little bit here because the next 2 games, at least after this one, ECU and then Florida State is not great this year. Not great, so they could maybe experiment a little bit with the lineups because they're probably feeling fortunate to have him back so soon.
And we've talked about this with the Carolina Hurricanes with how they've brought Jacob Slavin back. Sometimes you can almost use a limit of minutes to your advantage, right? Basically, you get to put Slavin with Alexander Nikishin and skate them third line or third pairing minutes, and because of that, you get Slavin skating with Nikishin, which I think is great for his development and everything he's been through the last couple weeks. If Seth Trimble goes out there with the second unit because he's on a limit and because you want him to come off the bench, maybe 6th men stuff, which he has done at times in his career, perhaps there's some kind of leadership thing that can bring along some of the guys, the Derek Dixons and some of the guys off the bench that you're going to have to rely on at some point in time. Either way, it is good news for North Carolina. Again, the news breaking just moments ago. According to the Field of 68's sources, Jeff Goodman is the reporter, North Carolina's Seth Trimble is expected to make his return to the lineup tomorrow against Ohio State in Atlanta. From a bigger picture, looking at that game, it's important for UNC. I almost think it's a like, how different are you game for UNC? And I don't want to disrespect last year's team or the year before, but UNC loses this game last year, right? A power conference game, kind of overlooked, neutral court. I think this is one that even if they're the more talented team, they struggled with in years past. This year they've been different in almost every way. Huge difference on the roster, right? Basically only Seth Trimble returning as far as a contributor. New vibe. Seems like they play with a little bit more raw emotion. They play inside out versus outside in, which they've done with R.J. Davis the past couple years. So this is like a how much different are you game.
Yeah, and I don't know if you kind of mean it just more so as kind of like a nameless, faceless Power 4 game on a neutral court, because Ohio State really wasn't all that last year.
Yes, I did not mean they lose
just
to
kind of
this
as like
version of
like
Ohio
a general
State.
concept
Correct.
of maybe
they lose to a run-of-the-mill Big Ten team that they should not lose to.
But this year it is definitely a different vibe, and you can tell that they beefed up in the most crucial areas, the biggest of which was size in the front court. Now they've got two terrifying big men that can put up both of them honestly can put up a 20-point double-double on any given night.
And they've done it pretty darn consistently.
But the question as it gets down into the crucial stretch of conference play is going to be, did they overcorrect? And then now the guards are got a little bit overlooked. They've got a couple good ones, a couple decent shooters, but I don't think they've gotten as much as they'd like to out of Kai and Evans. Bogovac has been solid, and then we'll see what Seth Trimble can do, especially coming off the injury. And the other thing for me is, do they have the depth to really compete as the season gets down the stretch? But there's no doubt that they've improved a lot year over year, and this year's team is a little bit more intimidating than last year's.
Quick update on the score in the Gasparilla Bowl. NC State tacked on another touchdown. They are up 21-0 over Memphis. And I can give you the details on the most recent touchdown. Obviously, the first one was a long run, 15 yards from C.J. Bailey. They then had a pass to Wesley Grimes where he took a gigantic hit right there on the goal line, held on for the touchdown. And Will Wilson, the backup quarterback, scored after a long interception return from Caden Fordham, put NC State in business down deep in the red zone. So they're kind of, their running package quarterback got in. It was a 14-second scoring drive. So they're up 21-0 with 13 minutes to go in the first half. Memphis looking a little scatterbrained, but they don't have their coach, right? Then they got an interim coach and some players in the portal. So.
And they were already coming off of 3 straight losses headed into this game.
Yeah, started the year 8-1, was it? And then I wonder, all those the group of 5 teams, your coach starts hearing his name in every rumor. It's tough to deal with. Either way, that is a little talk about UNC basketball. We will get back to that Duke-Texas Tech game because it is a massive game for a bunch of different reasons. But when we come back, it'll be time for the Dean's List. Don't go anywhere.
Hey, it's Paul Lyhander from 99.9 The Fan for the Butcher's Market. And the holidays are here, and if you're looking for the perfect gift, I've got you covered. A membership to the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. You'll get a different hand-cut steak every month for 6 months. Some serious holiday sizzle. And there's more to celebrate. The Butcher's Market was just awarded the North Carolina Small Business Retailer of the Year. With 5 Triangle locations, it's easy to shop local this season. Visit thebutchersmarkets.com. That's thebutchersmarkets.com.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep. Sound health.
Hey, it's Meredith at Mensah Jewelers in Garner, and it's time to start updating those wish lists because Christmas is right around the corner. But don't worry, we have you covered. Our store is fully stocked with beautiful and unique pieces anyone surely would love. And if you're thinking of popping the big question this Christmas, we have handpicked the most brilliant diamonds. Plus, all of our diamonds have the low price guarantee, so there's no risk or stress. And that's why we have been voted the Triangle's ultimate bridal destination. So come in and see us today. We are located right off of Highway 70 in Garner and at MensahJewelers.com.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be 1,000,000 miles away. Imagine being 1,000,000 miles away. Tremfya Guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit Tremfya.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Will Smith coming out of break. Or should I say the Fresh Prince? The Gasparilla Bowl, had to remember what it was called. The Gasparilla Bowl remains 21-0 NC State over Memphis at the moment. 13 minutes to go, I believe. Let me hit refresh real quick. A little over 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. NC State leads Memphis 21-0 as a score update. To update you on the Dean's List, let's put class in session. All right, the way the Dean's List works, we give a few extra accolades, a little extra praise to those in the college sports world, either directly or indirectly, that they quite frankly they maybe don't get enough love, and they deserve to. So we'll get it started with Darian Mensah. Some news breaking earlier today. Duke quarterback, big money quarterback. One of the stories of last offseason, his transfer from Tulane to Duke and the NIL commitment that came with it. He has let it be known through his agency that he will be going back to Duke for another year after exploring the NFL a little bit. There was a conversation, it appears, not of him leaving Duke to go into the transfer portal, but of him leaving Duke to go into the NFL. The reason why he's on the Dean's List is I think this is choosing the right thing for his development and also lucrative. Don't get me wrong. It's not like he's going back to Duke to play for pennies. But I think there's a good chance he would be drafted higher in this year's draft than he would in next year's, just by the nature of the quarterback options, right? There's going to be a more deep talent pool next year in the NFL draft at quarterback, but I don't think he would be as ready to convert whatever opportunities he's given in the NFL into a long-term career. So going back, I think it's a smart move. And, maybe some unfinished business, right? He won the ACC championship. He led the ACC in passing yards, led the ACC in passing touchdowns. Didn't get the opportunity to see it through in a CFP due to some non-conference losses that they suffered. So maybe he's going back with a little revenge going on. We'll see about some other players on Duke. We've already heard Brian Parker, the second All-American offensive lineman, will be going pro. But they got some other guys that need to make some decisions as well. Wesley Williams, I think, also one of their defensive linemen going pro. More Dean's List. I say this with 100% understanding that the Dean's List is usually optimistic, and this is going to come across kind of mean. Everyone that is not the ACC or Notre Dame. Ross Dellinger, investigative reporter, I believe he works for Yahoo now, but he's has done great work at a few different places. He tweeted out today, of note, in light of the very public situation around the college football playoff selections, Notre Dame Athletic Director Pete Bavacqua and ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips met in New York City on Thursday for nearly 2 hours in a productive gathering that covered a range of issues. End of tweet. Stop that. Jim special kid gloves. They complain, great. Let them complain. Let them yell into a vacuum. Let them yell into the Grand Canyon or whatever else, whatever they have in South Bend, Indiana. Just go ahead and scream into the distance about how upset you are. There were no contracts breached, nothing that stop. If you want to talk to Notre Dame, have all your other, tell them to show up at an ACC conference meeting, and you'll set aside a half hour during lunch where all of the other commissioners and all of the other athletic directors can have a mouthful of barbecue in Charlotte and hear you out. But don't do it in private. So everybody that's not the ACC or Notre Dame makes the Dean's List. Do you have any Dean's Listers?
Yeah, I'll give a Dean's List shout-out to Jalen Buckley, running back for Western Michigan. For those of you who are not tuned in to the Myrtle Beach Bowl today at 11 a.m.,
nothing good in Myrtle Beach happens before 11 a.m.
No, and nothing good was happening for Kennesaw State today in Myrtle Beach either. Western Michigan won the game 41-6. They were up 27-0 in the first quarter. Jalen Buckley is the A running back. I don't even know if he's their featured back for Western Michigan. He had 8 carries for 174 yards and a touchdown. His first 3 runs of the game, the first one was a 65-yard run on the first play from scrimmage for a touchdown. And then his next 2 runs were 11 yards for a first down and then another 31-yard run. So on the first 3 plays of the game, he had 107 rushing yards. So shout out Jalen Buckley. Way to finish off the season with a bang. 10 wins for Western Michigan, and they finish at 10-4.
Is it bad that my first thought is, oh, that's probably lucrative in the portal? That's a good little audition? Rather than, oh, what a good job by them to end their season strong. Their own coach is probably sitting there going, we're never going to be able to afford him now.
He had a decent year, 829 yards, 8 touchdowns. I guess that probably doesn't even count the stats from today, but pretty good.
Yeah, better than pretty. More Dean's List. A guy we covered extensively during his time here in the Triangle for the brief stop he had at Duke basketball. And one of your guys, a big Hornets fan right there, Max, Con Knipple is on a heater. And he already was on a heater. And now he's on another heater.
Is it a heater or is he just really, really good?
That's what I'm saying. He was already really good. And then the last 3 games have been above the really good that he has shown.
Yeah, he's averaging like 30.
I actually have you know how algorithms work, right? I've copy and pasted and saved a few of these little like threshold stats where it's like, players that have done this, and this. And now they think that's like my thing. Now the algorithm is like, oh, you liked, Cam Boozer having 250 points, 100 rebounds, and blah, blah, blah in his first this many games. How do you like this? I have a full list of NBA rookies in history to average 30 points and 30 or more points and 5 or more assists on 70% true shooting or better over a 3-game span. The last 3 games for Con Knipple. The list has 2 names on it. One, Con Knipple. The other, Michael Jordan. And that's it. Michael Jordan did do it twice, so Con's got to do it again. But Michael Jordan didn't do it for the first time until the turn of the new year in January. So Con Knipple's actually on pace to do it more times.
I'm pretty sure he's just a few threes away from being the fastest player to 100 threes in an NBA career. He was at 90. I think they said during the broadcast, and He hit, I think, 5 threes last night or something like that.
6, but yes.
I think they were saying he got to 93, but that might have been one of his first few. So he's probably like 1 game away from becoming the fastest. I think the previous holder was Lauri Markkanen.
Yep, correct. You're on top of it. The thing I would say that was extra good about last night's game, first of all, it came in a win, right? They beat Atlanta. And another Duke guy, kind of. I don't know if they can really claim him. Jalen Johnson, who I think left midseason from Duke. He had 43, 11, and 9.
He has become the Hawks' best player.
Kind of by a long shot, which is crazy with the number 1 overall pick and Trae Young on the team. But that's neither here nor there because they lost to the Hornets. But the reason why I say it's like doubly good is both LaMelo Ball, and who's back from injury, and Brandon Miller also had like star games. So if Con Knipple can get his efficiently with them also high usage players, that's a massive improvement and massive like sign of good things to come in the future for the Hornets.
The offense is awesome, but it's still very concerning on the defensive end for me. The fact also they were up by as much as like 26 in this game, and they had to like eke out a win at the end.
Kalkbrenner's going to have to
there's a lot of work
cover
to
a
do.
lot of guys backside.
If they could add Boozer, if they somehow luck into that in the draft, him or DeBansa, I don't think they could use a guard as much, but I wouldn't mind if they picked up Darren Peterson or Caleb Wilson.
I was going to say there's
Pete, Nate Ament, all these guys would be a great addition. So.
And I assume there's got to be a European of some kind that people are excited about.
Of course there will be. There will be.
I don't know, but college basketball has a lot of really, really good freshmen specifically. Last Dean's List member, and I've been trying to get this on the Dean's List all week, so Friday I don't have any more chances. Speaking of guys we covered during their time here in the Triangle that are now doing big things in their professional career, former UNC quarterback Drake May, against Buffalo, not his best game. Did run for 2 touchdowns, but wasn't as efficient as he has been. I just love when a quarterback sells out to block. He reached the highest GPS time of his career, flying downfield to block for Travion Henderson on like a 60-yard touchdown run. That's pretty cool for a quarterback. Most quarterbacks, once they hand it off, even if they like fake like they're gonna block, they very much are afraid. They don't want to get hurt. He's a football player, man. And he showed some wheels. He was picking him up, putting him down. Got his rookie running back a long touchdown. And then after the game, he was like, I don't even know if he needed me down there, but I hoofed it, which is humility as well. Let's go ahead and dismiss the Dean's List. Because we have more college basketball to talk after this. NC State, Ole Miss taking on each other over the weekend. What do you expect as a response from the NC State Wolfpack to their coach's all-time rant after their win over Texas Southern? Stick around.
Hi, this is Millie, and guess what? My mom works at the coolest place ever, Roofworks. You know how Santa lands on your roof? Well, he loves our clients' houses because Roofworks keeps their roofs super strong and ready for reindeer landings. Remember, that's landings, not droppings, Rudolph. If you want your home to be cozy, safe, and totally Santa-approved this holiday season, tell every grown-up to call Roofworks so they can treat you like family, too. Happy holidays from me and all the elves at Roofworks.
Hey, girl. Haven't seen you downtown lately. Nope, sticking to our go-to places. You mean like Sharky's? Well, we love our Sharky's. Best wings and gumbo on the planet. But we never miss the $5 sangrias on Wednesdays at the new Salt and Lime and Mexican pints on Thursdays for $3. You know my boy loves the House of Hops. No better selection of craft beer in the state. Loves their specials, their food trucks, and I love my wine. They have a wonderful selection. And have I told you about our new takeout spot, Che Empanadas? It's right next to Sharky's. They have 20 different types of authentic Argentinian empanadas, and they are incredible, especially the breakfast ones. You've got to try it. Sounds perfect. And how awesome is it that they're so close to each other? Oh, it's perfect, all right.
Give them a try. Che Empanadas, House of Hops, Salt and Lime, and Sharky's. Just a hop, skip, and a jump from each other off Durham Road, Glenwood, and Grove Barton.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit towards your new home purchase. Explore SmithDouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice within reach.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey from Bailey's Fine Jewelry. This holiday season, why not give a gift that truly shines? At Bailey's, we believe in making every moment special, and our carefully curated selection of fine jewelry is sure to bring joy to your loved ones. From stunning diamonds to designer jewelry and luxury watches, we have the perfect gift for everyone on your list. Gift the magic of a Bailey box and make this Christmas unforgettable. Visit us today in Raleigh, Cary, Rocky Mount, Greenville, and Charlotte. Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
All right, team. What are we getting Santa this year? The guy's got everything, you know.
Yeah, that Salad of the Month Club subscription didn't go over too well.
What about something fun? Something that everyone loves to do?
Oh, remember after Christmas last year? He couldn't stop talking about Deep River Sporting Clays, and it's elf-friendly.
That's right. He said breaking clays helped him relax and enjoy the outdoors.
Give the gift even Santa loves to get. A Deep River Sporting Clays gift card or gear from the shop. Fun, outdoors, and memories that last all year. Visit deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. NC State men's basketball. I mean, if we're being real, somebody should be filming a documentary. You know how when Bill Belichick took over UNC, there was the Hard Knocks that was going to go through. There was the Hulu that was going to go through. There was a documentary that WRAL, our colleagues over there on the TV side, put out yesterday. A little half-hour documentary debuted on WRAL.
Yes, Coaching Carolina the Belichick Way. Go check that out on YouTube. It's also going to re-air on Fox 50 on Sunday, I believe.
And you can, and there's YouTube, there's the app, there's a whole bunch of ways you can check it out. But I want that for NC State men's basketball this year. I know Will Wade isn't the name that Bill Belichick is, but I'm telling you, he's maybe not more. He's just as interesting. They beat Texas Southern by a bundle. Had a player that broke the school record for three-pointers in a game, tied the ACC record for three-pointers in a game, also had a double-double with 10 rebounds and scored 47 points, and the coach absolutely lit up his team in the post-game presser. If you don't believe me, we played the 4 minutes in its entirety on the show yesterday. We don't have time for all of that, but I'll give you a taste. Here's Will Wade on the casual personalities and lack of toughness he has on his team.
We take on the personality. We got a lot of casual personalities on our team. We don't have people that are revved up and ready to go. I mean, I had one of the kids come to me, I'm tough. I said, you're not in the top 50 of the toughest players I've coached. Not even the top 50. I don't want to hear that. You ain't tough. You don't make the top 50. You would make the top 25 of the last 5 years of who I've coached. And I sat out a year. I mean, I don't want to hear that. When you got casual guys, I mean, it's tough.
There's a lot of things that I think a coach knows. If I say this, it'll be taken one way. If I say this, it'll be taken. To question a college athlete's toughness is about as insulting as you can get. Right? You can say, my jump shot ain't working. You could say I'm not rebounding well enough. You could say I'm not communicating well on defense. You can say I'm not in as good enough shape as I should be. I can go fix that. Right? We can work together. You're not tough. You're not in the top 50 guys I ever coached. 50? This ain't football where you coach 100 guys a year. This is basketball. You coach 12 a year, and if you coach guys multiple years, that number comes down even 50. Now, here's my official kind of stance here. NC State players should come out with their hair on fire against Ole Miss, right? They should come out diving for loose balls. They should have their coach, worried about foul trouble with how aggressively they're jumping at rebounds. If the opposing team looks at them funny, they should be getting technicals because the coaches question their edge. They're casual. We got a bunch of nice guys, and he said nice with a hint of insult on there. It wasn't like, hey, we got nice guys on the team. It was, we got nice guys. We had good GPA, which is nice for running a daycare, but we're running a competitive basketball team.
It's not the first time he's kind of come through the media to kind of question the effort of this team.
It's at least the third time my eyebrows have gone, whoa. Second time he's gone on 4 or 5 minute rant kind of unassisted, right? Once before the Asheville game with voice of the Wolfpack, Matt Chazanow, and then this most recent one in the post-game presser after the win over Texas Southern. So here's my question, right? That my stance is they should come out hair on fire. My question is, I'm not sure what this rant would do that the previous rant didn't do. Because they're very similar, right? Different analogies, different pointed phrases, but they're not wholly different. The way he talked about his team before UNC Asheville and the way he talked about his team after Texas Southern. Now, maybe it's almost a staring contest with a particular player or a particular group of players, and Will Wade is showing you aren't going to outlast me, right? It's I don't know. I'm a big Survivor fan. Not current Survivor, way too many fake twists and lack of strategy. But there was a sweet spot from, season 1 to like season 30. I was a massive fan. I love the competitiveness and the mind games, right? That's what Survivor is. And towards the end, right, we're talking like 4, 5, 6 people left. There was always an endurance competition, right? You got to stand hugging this totem pole and you only have a half-inch ledge to rest your feet on, or you got to hang from this pull-up bar and you just have to hang forever and ever. And there was almost always a point where you could just tell somebody was better at it and they would do something to show, right? Somebody would be crying, their legs would be shaking, but they're not giving up, and they look over at their competitor and they'd like swing by one arm, put their other arm back up, swing the other arm, just to show like, oh, I can do this all day. I think that might be what Will Wade was doing. Coming back after a win, a couple games after an all-time rant with a darn near carbon copy all-time rant, that's kind of him looking at the players going, oh, you think I'm going to forget? I called you lack of tough last time. You haven't changed anything. You think I'm going to go, oh, well, I tried? Oh, no. Every time you don't meet my standards, I'm going to tell the world that I don't like what's going on here. And I'm not going to, get off of this pull-up bar or totem pole, right? I'm in this thing for the long haul, and you can't outlast me. So you got 2 choices here. Either A, put up with me ridiculing you publicly, embarrassing you in every post-game presser, whether we win or lose, whether we break records or not, or up your energy level, up your edge, up your toughness, and play the way I want you to play. State will be the favorite against Ole Miss. They haven't beaten a power conference or really any notable non-conference game yet, and I wouldn't put Ole Miss as some gigantic trophy, but it's something.
No, it's a high major opponent, and actually all of NC State's losses at this point, Texas just got bumped up to 50 on the nose in the net, so now all of the losses are in quadrant 1. Ole Miss is just inside the top 100. They're at 93 right now, so on a neutral court, which will kind of be more of a home court for NC State and Greensboro.
In Greensboro, yeah.
But that'll go down as a quad 2.
It better be a home game for him in Greensboro.
That'll be a quad 2 opportunity, but with the strength of the SEC, I'm thinking Ole Miss is probably not going to stay that high in most of the metrics, so it's probably going to end up being in quad 3 when it's all said and done at the end of the year. So that's not a game, that's not a loss you want on your record. Mm-hmm. It's almost a bit of a lose-lose, which is a bit unfortunate because the win doesn't do much for your resume in terms of metrics other than, hey, like we did beat a power conference team. But a loss is like, well, that's a quad 3 loss on the resume at the end of the year. And I don't think that they're going to be on the bubble at the end of the year or anything, but these are the things that come into play when it comes to like seeding when you get to March. So
the advanced analytics still like NC State as a team. And part of it is what you said, right? The losses that they've had are kind of aging decent. But we were promised more. I've said this a bunch of times. If Will Wade took the same path that every other coach takes when they take over a program, well, we're going to lay down a foundation and, we hope to be competitive in year one, then we'd probably be talking about this team as if it's a success because of everything Max just said. But that's not what he did, right? He went right into, this isn't a rebuild. We're going to win. We're going to win now. Well, okay, then we're going to expect you to do that. You know what I mean? So Ole Miss in Greensboro against Ole Miss, you almost need to win just for vibes. And you need to win being the more physical team. Or else, what is he going to do? The same speech again? And again and again? And just, whether it happens or not, just keep saying that his team is soft? And we did the math yesterday. Not the math. We did the kind of like a game of clue deduction. Like, all right, if it's not here, it's there. All right, it's got this clue leads us there. I don't know if he was talking just to Darian Williams, but I'm pretty sure he was talking to Darian Williams. The stuff with the casual guys, the stuff with the NBA. You think the NBA is here to watch you? You think you're tough? Like, again, I don't know if it was just him. I think
he wouldn't have been coming at him for mistakes in the last game, though, because he didn't play.
No, but he did talk about walkthrough mistakes. He didn't talk about mistakes in the game. And he talked about guys who think they're going to the NBA. We talked with Darian Williams before the season, and he talked openly about almost going to the NBA last year and thinking after this year he'd be going to the NBA. And also, we've talked prior to any of these conversations with Will Wade or these rants from Will Wade, we've talked about the vibe of Darian Williams being a bit more like he doesn't grimace. He smiles when he's playing well. You know what I mean? And that's not edgy, I guess, would be the way. Casual might be one way you would describe it if you take it as a negative. I don't necessarily take it as a negative, but if you did, casual might be a way to describe it. And then, I think he's also talking to a few guys on the team. But he made it clear he was not talking to Van Allen Lubin. He made it clear he was not talking to Kadir Copeland. He made it clear that he's liked what Paul McNeil has done as a prep. I mean, we're down to a handful of guys in the rotation.
And he said Scotty Abube is the only guy he has that has any edge, and he wants to play him more.
So he's got to play Abube more. You're looking at Trey Holloman. You're looking at Darian Williams. You're looking at there's not a ton of other guys that are in the rotation at the moment. Matt Abel, but he's a freshman, so you'd think there would be a little bit more of a learning curve there. It doesn't take long to do the math and figure out this might be specific to one person, even though he's talking to the media as if it's the whole team. Or two people, or 2.5, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just him, but I think it is him. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Should be a fun game, though. That is, anytime they go to a cool, historic, neutral court, that's not really a neutral court, so you still get the home atmosphere like Greensboro. That's big. And when it comes to deciding whether it's a quad 1, quad 2, quad 3 game, neutral courts give you a lot more leeway, so you're looking for that as well. Football at 4 is coming up next. The biggest game the Panthers have played in over 5 years. Bucs on Sunday, 1 p.m. What's the most important thing? Stick around.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group, and we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
It's bow time. 'Tis the season for food and family, but thanks to Bojangles, you don't have to spend hours in the kitchen when loved ones come home for the holidays. Set down the spatula and put away the mixing bowls, because this holiday season, Bojangles is ready to help you celebrate with all your family favorites like Chicken Supreme, Cajun Filet Biscuits, or a big bow box of hand-breaded chicken, scratch-made biscuits, and fixins for the whole family. We'll make the food so you can focus on making memories. Head to Bojangles and gift yourself a taste of home. It's bow time.
If it's ho-ho-ho time, it's Bo-Bo-Bo time. Time to order a party-sized platter of that bodacious Bojangles flavor before your next holiday celebration. Choose a Bojangles Supremes platter and get 50 whole breast tenderloin fillets. Or go with a Bojangles dessert platter and get 2 dozen Bo-Berry biscuits, 2 dozen cinnamon twists, or 1 dozen of each. It's a platter full of Bo-liciousness. And don't forget to pick up Bojangles gift cards. Just the right gift for anyone on your list. Hurry, it's Bo time.
Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. Temperatures through this evening will continue to cool off to the 30s and 40s. It'll be sunny and windy into this afternoon. Then overnight into Saturday morning will drop to around 30 degrees. Comfortable afternoons in the 50s and 60s this weekend.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 159 points to 48,111.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4. Panthers, Buccaneers. It may not be the oldest or most storied rivalry in the NFL, but it's got bite. Bucs Panthers has some history to it, and this year it'll add to that lore because I truly believe the way you build up rivalries is by doing so with stakes. You need to play in a lot of games that matter, a lot of games that decide people's jobs. A lot of people have to have something of significance, both personally and professionally, riding on the game. And 2 of the next 3 weeks, the Panthers and Bucs will play each other with just that. This one, it's at home for Carolina. It's at 1 o'clock this Sunday. It's the most important game. I've said this a few times. The most important game the Panthers will have played in at least half a decade. There's probably been 4 or 5 of those thus far this year. They've won some, they've lost some, but each time they are not mathematically eliminated. Each time they grow in their percentage of making the playoffs, the next game is more important. Now, I am on record, and I stand by this, that the biggest question for the Carolina Panthers is more abstract than it is schematic. It's inconsistency. All right, you look over the last, 7 games, it's win, it's loss, it's awful loss, it's great win, it's awful loss, it's great win, it's awful loss, it's great win. And inconsistency is not a schematic thing, right? Because the games that have been great wins have shown that you can play really good football. You can play. That game last night, the Thursday nighter between the Rams and the Seahawks, that looked like 2 Grizzlies in the contender wild out there going blow for blow all the way into overtime for a number 1 seed in the conference. And the Rams lost to the Panthers. So you can't tell me that they can't do something, because they've shown that they can as a team. There's a lot of things individuals on the team can't do. But, the whole remember the Titans thing, right? And nobody's perfect, but this team has been perfect, right? I don't think anyone on the Panthers is unassailable, but at their peak as a team, they can run with anybody. So it's got to be a between the ears thing that every other game they just show up and wet the bed. That every other game they show up and just lay a clunker.
If the pattern continues, though, they're due for a big win this week.
There'll be a massive win. We'll all buy into it. Then Sam Darnold will throw for 7,500 yards in the middle game. Then they'll beat the Bucs to end the year and go to the playoffs.
Yeah, but also the last time the number 1 seed in the NFC came to Charlotte, they got beat.
True. Very true. So it all kind of adds up, right? If patterns, if we're truly in a simulation, then you're good. We can start booking playoff.
Which one will
travel.
hold, the every other game, or the Panthers just upsetting teams they have no business upsetting?
If I were a betting person, I don't think people want to know what I would bet on. So I think the most important part, and by the way, it's a learning experience for the coaching staff as well, right? We go out of our way to give rookies and second-year players, like, all right, they're learning, there's going to be a good one. Second-year coaches often have to learn that as well. So Dave Canales obviously has not done the best job in the NFL getting his team ready for big games because they've shown up completely flat in a bunch of them. But if this could be a lesson for him as well. If we were to say the between the ears stuff is more difficult to analyze, right? We can't get heart rate monitors on every team to see who's freaking out in the biggest moments. We can't get lie detector tests before and after the game to find out, or put them under oath to find out exactly what happened in big moments and who's to blame. So if we take that with a grain of salt and we decide to look at the schematic things, there are a whole host of keys to this game. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it earlier today. I think the best defensive minds in football history do a great job at taking away what you do best, right? Trying to make you win offhanded, if you will. I think when you're talking about the Bucs over the last decade, that means stop Mike Evans. If Emeka Egbuka has a big game based on how he's been playing the last 6 weeks, I think you're more okay with that than you are with Mike Evans having a big game based on what you've seen the last decade. Stop Mike Evans. If you got to put the safety over the top, if you have to have J.C. Horn travel, whatever you got to do. Get the pass rush going. Matter of fact, I have a whole bunch of bullet points here on the defense on things they could do. I want more creative blitzing. I want J.C. Horn to roll with Mike Evans. Depending on who's healthy, Claudin Chairless. We know Trevin Wallace isn't healthy. Claudin Chairless is going to have to be great in an off-ball linebacker spot. There's a lot of things that need to happen. But I'm going to try to boil it all down to one thing. There's a I don't even know. It's like a Twitter stat. It's called Havoc. I'll explain to you what Havoc is. It is the percentage of plays that a defense gets either credited with a pressure, a tackle for a loss, a forced fumble, an interception, or a pass breakup. Right? Those are the things that become, I believe, momentum getters for your defense. Right? You get your quarterback off time, right, with the pressure. You get a tackle for a loss, which sets them back against the sticks. Obviously, anything that might lead to an interception, like a forced fumble or a turnover, like a forced fumble or an interception. Pass breakups, deflections, right? Those things are huge. The havoc percentage, which means the percentage of plays a defense gets one of those things that I mentioned, Carolina is dead last in the NFL. 26.6%, dead last. And it gets worse. The difference between Carolina and the second worst team in the NFL is bigger than the difference between the 31st team and the 24th worst team in the NFL. So they are, there's everybody else, to quote Moneyball, then there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us. Like, there's a gap there. So I don't care how they do it exactly, but if you're not getting those havoc plays, the pressures, the TFLs, the interceptions, the PBUs, if you're not getting those plays, you're almost daring the opponent's offense to get into a rhythm.
I mean, goodness, with this Panthers defense, you're not getting much of those pressures and
all.
Anything with the defensive front. I mean, the pass rush was the big thing, and they shored up a lot of problem areas in terms of the defense. Like, the run defense is a lot better this year. There's no doubt about that. Exactly. Having him back is a massive, massive help, but they still got to work on that pass rush. They got to acquire somebody or start scheming up something different, because quarterbacks, we saw it with Tyler Shuck last week. They've got all day long to slice up that defense, and that's going to help reduce your havoc percentage.
100%. And maybe this is just like a unfair flaw, but like a run stuff for 2 yards, right? If Bucky Irving goes up the middle on first down and Derek Brown sheds a double team and dives out of his gap to tackle Bucky Irving for a 2-yard gain, it just doesn't spark anything. It's like, all right, good defensive play, back in the huddle. Meanwhile, if Baker Mayfield drops back and runs for his life and gets tackled for a 1-yard loss, choreographed celebrations, fireworks, right? That play is being played on replay going into commercial break. It's a 3-yard difference, right? It's 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 11. It's a 3-yard difference, but it impacts everything else. And the Panthers have gotten a ton of the first and almost none of the second thing that I just described. And I've talked about this. There's ways you can try to manufacture it. You can blitz more. You can blitz more exotically, more creatively. You can bring more corner blitzes. You can bring more twists. You can do things creatively to try to make it happen. That is risk-reward, right? That is, it might come back to bite you if they catch you with the perfect play call. But I think you need to you can't be okay with a 26.6% havoc percentage. Offensively, get the running game going. Get the running game going. And you know, I think part of it is they're having a really hard time. And I don't want to act like it's easy, but I also don't want to act like coaches aren't, you know, highly compensated. They're having a really hard time figuring out how to get both Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard rolling, and it's almost like they're choosing neither rather than one. And maybe it's unfair, like I said. I think you have to pick one and give them 20-plus carries. And I don't think that you can go drive to drive. I don't think you can go, we're going to give them each 8 carries and then see who has the hot hand. I think part of it is you pick which one you want to have the hot hand that you believe in the most and get them going with the plays they like, with multiple drives. And don't get me wrong, don't be blind, right? If you pick Rico Dowdle as the guy, I'm just random, and he, you know, has 4 straight runs and he's tired, so he taps his helmet, he comes out, and Chuba runs for 12. Don't go, hey, it's Rico's day. Like, you can see how that goes, but you have to go in with a plan to get one of them going. You have to have a plan to get one of them going. We'll see if either of them pop up in the Panthers' paw print. Let's fire that up. There it is. Brought to you by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com, wakeortho.com. It's the Panthers' paw print. This is where Max and I each give one player that we think the entire game can turn on. One player's execution, production, that could decide whether the Panthers get the driving seat in the playoffs or if the Bucs wrestle that driving seat away. Max, why don't you go ahead and lead off?
We were just mentioning his name, and we've kind of been mentioning it off and on over the last week. But for me, it's Rico Dowdle. I mean, I don't mean to disparage the guy or anything, but since those 2 massive games earlier on in the season, it hasn't been a ton of momentum for Rico Dowdle. I know he's been dealing with a tweak in the quad, or something with his leg that's probably limiting him. But it has been a few weeks now, and Chuba Hubbard has been a little bit more effective at spelling him as of recent weeks. Would love to see him go off for a big game, get up there near 100 yards rushing. He doesn't have to exceed it, but even like 80 or 90 yards on decent volume would be good to see. He's good in those short yardage situations, punching it in the red zone, but just try to take over, man. Run with that violence that you're known for, and if you can have one of those games where you're averaging like 5-6 yards a carry, something like that, it's going to be hard for the Bucs to be able to rebound and respond to that. So would love to see Rico Dowdle kind of regain that top form and help power the Panthers to get back in the driver's seat this week.
Mine plays off of the running game. It is not the running backs, but it plays off of the running game. It's Ike Ekwonu. And he was at practice today, practicing, but he had not been earlier in the week, dealing with a knee injury. I believe there were some scans involved since the game last week ended, so some concern there. He's played more snaps than anyone else on the offense for the Carolina Panthers. He is the highest snap percentage of any offensive player on the Carolina Panthers, and he plays a premier position, left tackle. He is better at run blocking than pass blocking. And so when we're talking about getting the run game going, it's kind of vital that he's out there. You pair him with Damian Lewis on the left side. Those are two of your best run blockers, two of your better players on the offensive line. You're going to want to have that pair together. If he can go, how effective he is, and even if he's 100%, how effective he is, could be a deciding factor in this one. Not to mention he's, we've all seen the movie. He's the blindside protector for Bryce Young, a guy who you want to keep upright and you want to keep unrattled or keep calm might be a better way to say that. So I'm throwing Ike Ekwonu in there as my Panthers paw print selection. By the way, the Panthers paw print brought to you once again by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com. That's WAKEORTHO.com. We'll be back with a look to tonight's Canes game. They're taking on the Panthers on the road, looking for win number 6 in a row. Stick around.
Listen for college football's best through January 19th. From the Military Bowl to the Natty in Miami, every major bowl game will be brought to you live.
Fans rush the field. NC State's a winner and knocks off undefeated top 10 Georgia Tech. 48-36 the final.
Bowl season on 99.9 The Fan and Buzz Sports is presented by Wakeman, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC in Sanford.
Hey, folks, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, this is your last week, your last chance to sign up for the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center to save 20%. Contact them now, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and use the promo code LOSEIT when you sign up. That way you can save 20%. That deal runs out on Friday, December 19th, so take advantage of it right now. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. Figure out if the program is the right thing for you. Bring any questions and health concerns that you might have, and decide if you want to go forward with the program. I've lost over 40 pounds, 42 pounds to be exact, with the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've done that in 4 months. Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or 919-897-7506. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. Results may vary.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-494-6139. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-494-6139.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forslund here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby! Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man! Now I want wings!
Jarvis with a one-timer. He scores! Oh, that was puck movement and a quick release. And Jarvis, his 19th of the year, makes it 3-0 Hurricanes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will have first goal scorer predictions coming up at 4:33. So make sure you start thinking, if you haven't done so already, about who will score the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight against the Florida Panthers. And in what period you think that first goal will be scored. A lot of people, I think you're gaming the system. Do you remember when you were a kid and the first time you realized you could make a T that kind of looks like an F on a true-false test in elementary school, and if you got it wrong, you'd be like, no, that's an F, that's a false, right? I think some of you are out there playing dumb with me because I put out this tweet every single week, every single game where we have a show on a game day for the Canes, asking for first goal scorer predictions. And, you know, there's not a ton on the line, but there's competition on the line, the glory of winning, and I'm big on that sort of thing. The amount of you that respond to my tweet that says who's going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period will they score it, and respond with just like, Aho's going to score, the guy's been on fire, I'm going with Aho. And no period, I'm like, all right, you're just asking to double, triple your chances here, aren't you? That way, in the second, you're just going to come back with, nailed it. First, nailed it. You didn't really have to compete. So, both pieces of information we're going to need from you. Who scores the first goal for the Canes, and in what period will they score it? Don't think you're going to pull a fast one and get all the glory. And I will pass along the predictions from the rest of our 99.9 The Fan crew as well, but that's all coming up at about 4:33. Right now we're going to talk about the game in a different way. The Canes undoubtedly have momentum, okay? They've won 5 straight games. I don't think there's any other way to describe it. They have momentum. They're heading to Florida. They're going to play the Panthers tonight. They're going to play Tampa tomorrow. For whatever reason, I still feel like I'm just playing vibes here, right? Social awareness. Like there's your antennas are up about the authenticity of the run they're on. And when I say you, I just mean like Caniacs in general, Canes fans in kind of bulk. And I get it for this reason. Brandon Bussey's going to be in net tonight, right? He has matched a franchise record, according to Walt Ruff, team reporter, by winning 9 starts in a row. He was in the starter's crease morning skate. He's won, 11 of his first 12 games. He's played very well. Some of the advanced analytics on things like his save percentage and high danger chances are exceptional. But I do get a sense we're all waiting kind of for the other shoe to drop. And maybe there is no other shoe, right? Maybe he's just a great player who, in a weird way, his game suits the NHL better than the AHL. Or you know, it's one of those things where no matter how much we study prospects and study numbers, we're still humans and we just can't identify the best players at the AHL level until they get an opportunity. I don't know. But what I know is it feels like a football team that's 7-1, but they've won some close games against bad teams, and like nobody is actually clearing their schedule for the first week of the postseason. You know what I mean? It's like before we book tickets, let's wait just a little bit here. All right, even if flights go up a little bit, like let's not book tickets and get clear our schedules. The Canes are on a 5-game win streak. They have a goalie on a darn near all-time heater, and it still feels like, let's see. Let's wait a little bit before we make any hard plans. And I think that's fair. But I also think that's part of what this part of the season is about. And I think you can be more confident in the Carolina Hurricanes now based on what they have gone through. Okay? Jordan Martinook, who left Wednesday's win against Nashville, lower body injury, the designation. He did not skate this morning. Rod Brindamore says he's day-to-day, won't play tonight. Jesperi Kotkaniemi will likely draw back into the lineup and skate with the 4th line. He's a guy that was hurt, came back, hurt again, I guess, and now returning. Just off the top of my head, guys that have missed time this year. William Carrier missed some time. Was it Eric Robinson missed some time? Jacob Slavin missed a whole bunch of time. Keandre Miller has missed time multiple times. Jalen Chatfield has missed time. Even some of the guys that were replacing the guys have missed time. We're thinking Charles Alexis Legault, right? There's Pyotr Kochetkov has missed time. There's been a ton of shuffling, and This is not 2020 hindsight. This show especially has talked about this throughout. If you survive that sort of thing, if you come out on the other side and you're still one of the top teams in your division, which they are, you're still one of the top teams in the East, which they are, you're better for it and you're more prepared for whatever can throw at you later on. I'm not ever going to say like, oh, I'm comfortable with, a key starter getting hurt. But if you know you're pretty good when Jacob Slavin's out, do you think we would have the panic we had last year when Jalen Chatfield went out in the postseason? When you're bringing in somebody like Nystrom rather than bringing in somebody like, Scott Morrow or Alexander Nikishin who had been on the continent for like 20 minutes? You're better set up for it. So there are still, I would say, like 3 or 4 big questions, right? Goalie being one of them. How do they kind of settle in their blue line when everybody is healthy on a full minutes deal going on is another. And then there's always going to be the second-line center, dynamic scorer, forward questions until they solve it with a big move, if they solve it with a big move. But other than that, like, everything seems so sturdy. And I'm not saying sturdy like nothing bad can happen. I'm saying sturdy like I think they're pretty well prepared to deal with the bad that will inevitably happen. The depth has stood out for me this year. Going into each game, I always talk about it, and we have first goal score predictions in less than 10 minutes. I always talk about kind of using my very, very amateur, like anthropological, that's the wrong word, anthropology skills to deduce what the fan base is feeling based on who gets first goal scorer predictions, right? Before last game, when everybody was picking Sebastian Aho, it was very obvious. Everybody was trying to will that into existence, put all that energy into the universe, and guess what? Worked like gangbusters. We control everything. Our energy controls the world. It's happened 3 times now. 3 times I've said it before the game, by the way. Like, oh, this is all in. We're putting our energy behind guys, and it's worked all 3 times. Not that they've gotten the first goal, but that they've gotten off the schneid. We did it for Ehlers. We did it for Svech, and we did it for Aho. And I think we're close to doing it for Svech again, but it's not happening yet. If I were to notice something about the predictions I've seen so far today and the last few other than Nashville, there's an adrenaline rush that comes with picking people off the board because you think it's possible. Most teams in the NHL, if they do first goal scorer predictions and you choose a 4th liner, you might as well just go by what Powerball's up to like $1 billion trillion, right? You might as well just go grab a True Lotto ticket because their 4th liners are out there just trying to keep their head above water. If you were to pick like Robinson, there's a decent like that. Granted, he'll be skating likely with the 3rd line, the stall line today, but like there's an option there. You know what I mean? There's really no pick that gets you laughed at on the Carolina Hurricanes. And because of that, I think it's fun for everybody because you got a chance. Somebody like Sean Walker. Like there's a possibility that he's going to be the first goal scorer. I don't know what the chances are, but I guarantee you on most teams, if you go down to like the 12th most likely first goal scorer, you're not going to hit that very often. You're not going to get that adrenaline rush. Who's going to stand out today is a really fun conversation to have about this Carolina Hurricanes team. When I think a lot of teams, when you go like, who's going to be, the surprise standout, there's like 5 names you could pick. On the Canes, there's double-digit names you could pick. Another way to put it. And shout out to I forget what station it was, 105.7 I think it was. I was living in Baltimore for a little bit, and they used to do this for Orioles games on the radio. They called it pick to click. And what it was you were picking a player not to be the best player in the game, but to go like obviously over our expectations for that player. Right? So, at the time, I'm trying to think of who the studs on the Orioles were. It would have been like J.J. Hardy and Chris Davis, right? If you pick Chris Davis, he would have to hit a home run or maybe, 5 RBIs because he was like an MVP candidate. But if you picked generic second baseman A, and he got on base twice, like that would be a pick to click. Doing that for the Carolina Hurricanes would be really interesting, right? To pick a player to go above what we would expect them to do. Not necessarily, pick a player to score multiple points because that might be unfair for some. but literally anybody could impress you on this team. There's nobody out there you're just hoping for like the lesser of evils. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's going to have a negative WAR. We just got to hope it's not too bad. Like, anybody could be a guy to pop. We are about 5 minutes away from first goal scorer predictions. So start getting ready for that. I'll let you know when to call. We're going to take a quick little detour here, talk a little college basketball because we jumped it earlier in the show. Duke is playing in Madison Square Garden as the number 3 team in the country. Duke is against the number 19 team in the country, Texas Tech. It is Madison Square Garden, Saturday, 8 p.m., prime time, all that. Big stage, which I think Duke chases in their non-conference games. They like to get the adrenaline up. They like all the spotlights. They like the cool venues. They like the unusual opponents because I think they're always thinking about getting prepared for the tournament. And what do you do in the tournament? You go to a venue that's not home. You play a team that's good and unfamiliar, and you have extra eyeballs on you, right? So I think they're always looking for that. The challenge for Duke this weekend, I believe, is less in like, oh, Texas Tech is a good team, and more in, oh, JT Toppin is a great individual player.
Well, let's not discount Christian Anderson. That guy is a baller.
They got money over there at Texas Tech, by the way. And they paid both of those guys quite a bit because they couldn't afford Darian Williams. And actually, I'll even throw him in there. I think it's more of the individual matchups that you're going to have than the team-wide, right? Because their best win, Duke's so far, is Michigan State, right? And Michigan State, no disrespect, it's a Tom Izzo team, right? You're getting physicality from like 8 dudes. You're like, that's the challenge there. And they played him in East Lansing, which is another add-on. Texas Tech, you're going to have to guard. You know what I mean? You're going to have to guard ISOs. When Christian Anderson has the ball, even as a some might say pass first point guard, he's going to run you off screens, right? He's going to pick and roll ball handle. You're going to have to do the individual mano-a-mano things or have such unbelievable communication that you're never lost.
I don't know if it's necessarily pass first. More so it's pass and shoot because he puts up 13.5 shots per game. He also averages,
I think it's like 8 or 9 assists,
yeah,
right?
It's 7.5 assists right now.
I would have expected
which
higher.
Is currently the leading number in the Big 12. Granted, they haven't really gotten into conference play yet, but he can do both, and he can do a lot of things out there. Very dynamic player. JT Toppin, the key is, are they going to call travels on him, shuffling his feet down there in the post? Because watching the game, I think it was last weekend when they played Arkansas, there were quite a few plays where he was down there, banging in the post, and I thought I saw the feet shuffling around, a couple extra steps down there, but the refs, they don't seem to call it on him very much. So just a little something to keep your eye on with JT Toppin.
There's actually a funny add-on there because I imagine with Duke and Texas Tech not being like familiar foes, that the fan bases will be screaming similar things because everyone I've seen that has played Duke with Cam Boozer is going like, are they ever going to call these elbows? And everybody that I've seen play Texas Tech is doing what you're doing with JT Toppin, going, so we let him get 3 or 4 steps. That's just what we're doing now. So if the refs call it tight, it could end up hurting both of the best players in the game. And if they let it go, it could end up huge statistical games for 2 of the best players in the game, who, by the way, are both, 6'9" to 6'10", 6'11", wide body, strong dudes that are going to be very, 20-10. I think Toppin is 22-11, and we know that Cam Boozer's up there around 23 and nearing a double-double, if not having a double-double. So they're very good players, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for somebody that, as a team, if I'm Duke, not only matches you in team success, but kind of has the star wattage to match your stars as well. This might be the first time, and I still like Cam Boozer is a better pro prospect. Might be one of the few times there's somebody out there that has a college resume, college ability that at least challenges him.
Yeah, and can go toe-to-toe with him. I'm so excited for the Duke and UNC matchups this year. I think that's just the way the rosters are set up and how good both of them are this year. Not that it's not normally a great game or a great set of games, but I just feel like with the guys they got, it's just the Wilson versus Boozer of it all. It's going to be so good. I'm excited for when they play this year.
Absolutely. The ACC is going to be electric in a lot of different ways. Because even Louisville's an interesting matchup, but we don't have time to get into all of that because it's time for first goal scorer predictions. Right now, we need 3 of you to call in, lock in your guesses, your predictions, I should say. Better than guesses. They're more educated than that. So call in now, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Call in with who you think will score the first goal of the game for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period you think they will score it. Both pieces of information. If you get it right, we will give you all the love you deserve here on air. So call in now, 919-860-5326. While Max lines up those callers, I will give you the predictions from the 99.9 The Fan personalities, just so we have them locked and loaded and receipts and everything we can reference after. Paul Ihander, the host of Next Up with Paul Ihander, which weekday mornings here on 99.9 The Fan from 9 to 10. Max, who's helping us out today, traditionally produces that show. Paul has gone with Will Carrier, Bill Carrier, as Paul often calls him, in the second period. Victoria, who produces the Adam Gold Show directly before this one. Nikolai Ehlers in the first, but not in the first 10 minutes of the game, so latter half of the first period. Dennis, the traditional producer for this show, has Robinson in the first. Adam, of the Adam Gold Show, has gone with Svech in the first and in the first 5 minutes, so he thinks it's going to go quick. We'll take a couple of callers here. We'll go to Brian in Holly Springs. Brian, welcome back to the show. Go ahead and give us your prediction.
Okay, I'm going to go with Nikishin in the second period on the power play.
All right, that second power play unit, people are excited about.
Yep. I think 37 is going to be in the box.
All right, there you go. So you're saying, 37 for the Canes? You're saying shorthanded on the power play?
Yeah, yes,
okay.
Sir.
Shorthanded,
yes, sir.
Gotcha. All right, and Svech is in the box. Thank you very much for your prediction. Good luck to you. Let's go to Michael in Angier. Michael, you're up next. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
I think I'm going to call Jacob Slavin in the second.
Oh, first goal of the year. What makes you say Slavin in the second?
I don't know. I feel he's due, and it'd be a big game for him to come back and just get one in.
All right. I appreciate it. You are locked in. Good luck to you. I don't know if it's shout out to Michael for the prediction. I don't know if it's quite fair to say he's due when he's been hurt, right? It's like he hasn't scored in 2 months. It's like, well, he played one game in the last 2 months might be the way to say that. Let's go back to the call-in line for our last prediction here. We have Andy in Charlotte. Andy, welcome to the show. Happy to have you. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
Hey, Tim. I missed the previous caller. Has anyone guessed our good friend Aho yet?
He's yours if you want it.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm going to pick Aho, and I know you're going to say, he's a hot hand right now. He's, it's the easy pick, but I'm going to tell you a story why. Real quick.
I'm looking forward to it. Go ahead.
February 22nd, 2024, we are playing the Panthers at home in Lenovo with 3 of my best friends in the lower bowl. That game goes scoreless into the third, and with 20-ish seconds left, Sebastian Aho just rails one to win the game, 1-0. And at the final, clock seconds tick off, huge fight erupts. The place is going wild. You know how Lenovo is. So I am picking Sebastian Aho to not necessarily repeat that because I want to see him do it a little bit earlier than 20 seconds left in the game this time. So I'm going Aho. I'm going in the second. I think Florida scores first. Aho comes back, and we end up winning 3-2.
All right, great story, and I think many. That's one of those games that a lot of people say they were in attendance for. It's like, whoa, really? 250,000 people were there, huh?
I was there. I was positioned quite well too. I think that's the 123 vom down there in the corner. So,
all right.
Prime time view for that one. I remember that one well.
You guys have a little shared experience there. So appreciate the call, Andy. Thank you for the story. You are locked in with Aho in the second. Max. Do you make anything out of all three callers going in the second period?
I guess they're counting on it being a bit of a slower start. I'm going to buck the trend of the callers, though.
Okay, let's hear it.
I will go with Taylor Hall in the first period.
Hall in the first. Any other details you want to throw on there?
No.
Okay,
No. He's going to score somehow.
That is fair. I'm going to be competitive here. I'm going to take Jarvis in the first, just because when you look at all of our callers and all of our 99.9 The Fan personalities, and nobody's picked Jarvis.
That is kind of crazy.
It's just like, all right, this is real estate that shouldn't go unclaimed.
It's not even like sports betting where like the odds don't give you juice because we're just picking players.
But I also want to say, and maybe I'm doing exactly what I complain about. But I very rarely pick Jarvis. Very rarely pick Aho. You could game the system and just pick the best scorers in the first every game, and you'd probably be at the end of the season looking pretty good. But I've been right with Ehlers this year. I've done some real. I go chatty a lot just because of vibes. But today, because he's unclaimed, I'm going Jarvis in the first.
Looks like a couple of picks in our YouTube chat. I was on the same page as Rodney Lewis. He picked Taylor Hall in the first period. He picked it early as well. Tom Hunsberger is picking Nikolai Ehlers in the first period. And there's a couple of people who are saying they feel pretty good about Brandon Bussey tonight. One person picking a Bussey shutout, and somebody else saying Bussey gets an assist tonight.
Well, how about this? Piotr almost scored. Piotr gave it a good run in Nashville. So
that's only the second time I can remember in the last, probably since the Rod Brindamore became the coach, that a goalie's even taken a shot. Freddie Anderson took a shot. I think they were up by 3. They were up by at least 2 against Minnesota. I believe it was the same game that Max Pacioretty re-injured his Achilles. So he only got back for a handful of games that season and then got injured at the very end. And, that was that for his Canes tenure. But Freddie Anderson did get a shot, but it was very similar. Guy in the neutral zone just knocked it down pretty easily. And we didn't even get the sweat to see if, is it going to get down there? Is it going to go in? I think if it's going to be any Canes goalie, it's going to be Kochetkov just because he has 100%. The goal scoring history.
And he has the crazy eyes. Like he has the I think most goalies go almost every season of their career without even thinking of taking a shot. I think Piotr thinks about it like 4 times a game.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to score at some point.
It's crazy. It's you see it in sports. Some guys just have that knack for the unusual.
Yeah.
And he definitely has it.
And they asked Rod about it in the post game after that, and he was like, yeah, like we knew he was going to do it. And that's the time when you're up by 2. So I'm going to go keep our eyes out. I think at some point he's going to get one in the NHL.
Yeah, I think so too. But you just you can almost, even under the helmet, you can see the eyes going like, is anyone back there? He just checks. It's very similar. I don't want to say very similar. It's a bit similar to going back to I was related back to my playing career. We used to have these things we call PRGs, position release go, which means you're running a deep route just to take somebody with you. You're not really a part of the progression, but in certain looks against certain defenses, coach would allow you a peek, right? If you something else need a little bit more time, you could just peek the PRG, and it's not part of the offense. But when you peeked every time, you were like, am I about to throw this 60-yarder?
I could just uncork this for a touchdown.
And then you'd usually think better of it, and you'd go do whatever you were supposed to do in the play. But for that one blink, you see Kochetkov have that blink a lot, where he's like, I'll think better of it. And sometimes he doesn't think better of it. But he has those blinks of like, I could.
Yeah. When it comes to the poke checks, he just goes.
I could.
First instinct, boom, poke check.
How many times do you think he thinks about the poke check and doesn't do it?
I don't even think he thinks about it. I think it's just his natural reaction. If there's a guy coming in like fairly unencumbered, like his first thing is like, I'm not going to make a save. Like, I'm going to poke check this guy.
I do think there's a decent chance that like he poke checks a ton, but there's not like 40 more times a game he thinks about it because he's a
defenseman at heart.
I mean, he might be like a center at heart if we're being real, but an aggressive checking line. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. That's a perfect example, right? Not every goalie has the same personality. Not every person has the same personality, right? The holidays, you see it on the back if you're watching on YouTube. The snowflakes are falling. We're all unique. The good news is Bailey's Fine Jewelry and the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop have something for everybody. Whatever your style is, whatever your vibe is. If you are flashy, you can get something two-tone, right? You can mix golds and platinums. If you're a little bit more understated, you can get a true if you know luxury watch that everybody else might go, what is that? But somebody that knows will go, goodness gracious, you got that? There's something for whatever your personality is, or this holiday season, whatever somebody special in your life's personality is as you get a gift. Could be pre-owned and vintage Rolex, could be Blancpain, could be Omega, could be Norcane, could be Glashütte Original, could be Nomos, could be pre-owned and vintage Cartier, Hamilton, could be G-Shock, could be Timex, could be an estate piece of wristwear. There's a lot of different options that you really have to stop out and see for yourself. So go to the Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Village District of Raleigh. If you go all the way to the right, there's going to be the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. Spend a lot of time in there. If you go all the way to the left, it's going to be the Omega Boutique. Spend a lot of time in there. If you're in the main showroom, you're going to see the Glashütte Original and the Blancpain displays. Spend a lot of time there, and then come to a decision. And you never know what might strike your fancy. And when you're in there at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. We have 10 days of CanesMas, which has been lovely. It's been great. It's been wonderful. We've given away a ton of great gifts, but it has to come to a close. Today is our last day of the 10 days of CanesMas. There's one prize left in my magical red hat. So call in now, 919-860-5326. Caller number 10 gets the last prize, the last gift of this year's CanesMas. 919-860-5326. Call in now. Caller number 10 gets the opportunity to answer a quick trivia question and get the CanesMas gift. CanesMas next.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts, or watch on YouTube.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $1 billion. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Adam Golden Studio with my friend Sammy Hanna, owner-operator of the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Are you feeling the spirit of the holiday, sir?
We love the holidays, Adam, and we are feeling the spirit. It's been a great year. Just want to thank everybody out there, our listeners, our homeowners, our employees, everyone involved that makes the Aluminum Company great. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Or do you get the sense that people ask for like green or red siding during this time of the year?
We have not gotten a request for green or white siding, but that is something we can always try and accommodate. We're here to help our homeowners with any concern they want to do.
You can do green or red metal roofing.
We can. Yes, we can.
Do they ever stripe it like green and then red and then green and then red?
We have not had that request yet, Adam, but we're here to accommodate any homeowner request.
Sometimes you just really feel the spirit of the holiday.
And we can accommodate.
Happy holidays to you. Thank you very much for all you do for us, for sponsoring my hockey podcast.
Happy holidays.
Appreciate
and thank you.
that. AluminumCompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. 10 days of CanesMas. We are on day number 10. CanesMas, presented by Hardee's. Cozy up to the goodness of Hardee's. New grilled cheese, bacon burger, and breakfast sandwich, as well as Surfside vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. Every day for the last 2 weeks at this time, we've brought a caller number 10, onto the air. We've asked them a quick trivia question. They've all gotten it right, so no pressure on our last contestant. And that has earned them a prize, a gift, a CanesMas present from us here. And today's contestant is Kyle and Fuquay. Kyle, congratulations. Merry CanesMas.
Thank you. Merry CanesMas to you as well. I'm going to say the pressure is on, but if I miss this question, it's the Steely Dan intro that causes it.
You know what? You can take that up with Max. In the meantime, the question for today, it is an easy one. Can you name one of the Carolina Hurricanes team colors?
Oh, my goodness. Red.
There you go. We're not trying to trick you. We want you to get your prize. Red is correct. So this is, I don't even know why I'm shaking the magical red hat as if there's more than one slip of paper with a present written on it in there. But here we go. Your gift, the final CanesMas gift is, a little combo. The Surfside vodka, Kanga iceless cooler, and a Canes neon wall decal. So it's like a big sticker thing that you can press onto the wall, as well as a very cool Kanga iceless cooler. So we unintentionally stepped it up on the 10th. Congratulations, Kyle. Merry CanesMas.
Thank you very much.
Stay on the line. Max, who did choose the intro music for you, he'll grab the info he needs to make sure you get your CanesMas present. But congratulations once again. And thank you once again to our presenting sponsors who have presented the entire run of the 10 days of CanesMas. Hardee's, get the Hardee's app and join My Rewards right now and get the hand-breaded chicken tender BOGO every Tuesday through June 2026. BOGO is one of those things you just have to say with like a little extra. I read this, twice a day, and every time I'm like, hand-breaded chicken tenders, BOGO! It's very similar to like yelling Kobe before you shoot something in the trash. Kobe! BOGO! Either way, it's through June 2026, as well as another presenting sponsor, Surfside Vodka. Whether you're watching hockey or warming up by the fire, there's nothing better than enjoying your favorite Surfside canned cocktail to keep the good times going. CanesMas, for this year, it is an annual thing. We've been doing it the last few years. Now, it's come to a close. Merry Christmas. Merry CanesMas is probably the way to say that. And go Canes. We'll throw that in there as well. I do want to update a story that we've already updated you on, but just in case you weren't paying too much attention, UNC basketball has confirmed that tomorrow, Seth Trimble, their senior leading guard, will be playing for UNC against Ohio State in Atlanta. He has missed a good portion of the season thus far, majority of the non-conference, with an injury that he suffered in a really weird, unfortunate, unlucky weight room accident. Ended up breaking his forearm, but it was reported by the Field of 68 that their sources had Seth Trimble playing tomorrow. The UNC basketball official accounts now have also confirmed that he is back, and that is huge for UNC. It is a leadership thing, but also I'm gonna go a broken record with this, and I've done it a few times today. Similar to what the Carolina Hurricanes have gone through early in their season, you never want injuries. I want to be clear on that. I don't want to be accused of saying that, you hope for them. You never want injuries of any kind. But if you have injuries and the team plays well in their absence, especially if it's a leadership player, and they learn how to get by a bit without that player, and then they return, assuming that your coaching staff is capable of assimilating them back into the mix, that's a good thing. Right? There's I would say from a team building and also role perspective, kind of weird similarities between Jacob Slavin with the Carolina Hurricanes and Seth Trimble with the Tar Heels. Seth Trimble might be the best perimeter defensive player in the ACC. He is, especially from a tools standpoint, an unbelievable defender. Jacob Slavin, his defensive defenseman reputation in the NHL, very similar. They both great leaders. They both are surrounded by a decent amount of new people, particularly their position group. When you mix in Alexander Nikishin, Keandre Miller with the defenseman on the Canes, and then you look at the backcourt and even the front court of UNC, right? Bogovat, Kyan Evans. You even go Derek Dixon, the freshman, the front court transfers. Like Seth Trimble is the wizened old leader. So they both missed some time. They're both now coming back. I think their teams are better off because of it. Granted, it probably stunk there for a long time where they were playing without him. But as they come back, I think it's going to be something they can lean on. If this hadn't happened with Seth Trimble, assuming he comes back and he's fully healthy and there's no lasting effects, like if he got in foul trouble in the second round of the NCAA tournament, it would be a very much like, oh no. But now if he gets in foul trouble in the second round of the NCAA tournament, they have to play 8 minutes before half without him, they're a bit more confident, right? Hey, we won some really big games without Seth Trimble. We played some really big minutes without Seth Trimble, and we can do it again. I'm not saying you want it to happen, but you're just better prepared for it. So he is back, and as I said, UNC basketball has confirmed that. Now the what-if questions of who's in the rotation, if Seth Trimble's back and ready for his entire workload, who's out of the starting lineup? Do you move Kyan Evans to coming off the bench? Do you move Luka Bogovat to coming off the bench? Do you go a bit smaller and take Jaren Stevenson out and have a completely different vibe to your team? Who knows? That's all questions for Hubert Davis, and he will have plenty of time to work that out. But they do play Ohio State tomorrow and Atlanta, so you at least got to have some idea that quickly. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Merry CanesMas to you all, and please stick around for the starting five. It's coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I have no idea how the whole thing's going to play out. We've seen goaltenders come in and be good for short stretches. Remember Spencer Martin. This Brandon Bussey experience, though, might be a little bit different than that. Maybe he is just a late bloomer. Maybe he is part of the solution to what is ailing Carolina in goal. Let's ride the bus.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
The Wrap Up the Year sales event is on at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Right now, take advantage of over $11,000 off a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee or a new 2025 Jeep Grand L. We've got 11 to choose from, but when they're gone, they're gone. So don't wait to get your $11,000 off. Jeep, go anywhere, do anything. See dealer for details. Get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
Nugget Bills, Nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Hi, this is Millie, and guess what? My mom works at the coolest place ever, RoofWorks. You know how Santa lands on your roof? Well, he loves our clients' houses because RoofWorks keeps their roofs super strong and ready for reindeer landings. Remember, that's landings, not droppings, Rudolph. If you want your home to be cozy, safe, and totally Santa-approved this holiday season, tell every grown-up to call RoofWorks so they can treat you like family too. Happy holidays from me and all the elves at RoofWorks.
Think Santa's got a mixed bag of treats? Soundstation and Security may have him beat. Soundstation and Security has a huge variety of gift ideas for everything audio and automotive. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels, and tires. We even offer full vehicle service, alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. These are great, unique gift ideas. Plus, Soundstation and Security has a variety of financing options. Downtown Smithfield or on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. And online at myhotsound.com.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Cooler temperatures are moving in. The wind will settle down tonight, so at least there isn't much of a wind chill. We quickly dip into the 40s this evening and then 30 for the low overnight. Saturday, 56 degrees and mostly sunny. We're back to 61 on Sunday under mostly sunny skies.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell finishes at up 183 points at 48,134.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are just seconds away from Friday at 5 o'clock. Congratulations, everybody. You've made it, assuming you work a traditional Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You've made it to the weekend. Thank you for starting your weekend with us. And also, thank you for hanging out for the starting five, which will start right now, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Snap to Wilson up the middle, and he slices in, touchdown. 4:01 to play as Will Wilson runs in another score to make it 38-32, pending the PAT.
Will Wilson getting a lot of run today in the Gasparilla Bowl, which is going on as we speak. NC State finishing their football season up in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl against Memphis. Looking like it's going to be a win for NC State. They are ahead 31-7 with just under 3 minutes to play in the third period. Although Will Wilson may have just been stopped on a fourth down and short, which looks like Memphis will be taking over. But when you're up 31-7, you can be a little bit more risky and go for it a few more times and not worry about the outcome as much. If you're looking for the huge points of optimism, right? And so often, especially for NC State, but really every team does it, right? You have a solid bowl game, you finish with a win over a rival, and then a win in a bowl game, or good last 5 games. You start talking about carrying it over to next season. Maybe, I guess, would be the correct answer. In college sports today, I think we should set a percentage on like how many starters have to be returning in order for you to claim any momentum from the previous year. And then you see if you make that percentage, right? Really the only thing we know for NC State is Hollywood Smothers is hitting the transfer portal, which, by the way, I guess crazier things have happened than someone going into the transfer portal and come back to the same team. I would consider it unlikely, but not impossible. But Hollywood Smothers, the running back, hitting the portal, and anyone who's exhausted their eligibility will be gone. But other than that, there's really no expectations that anyone's hitting the portal. Obviously, they could, right? The C.J. Baileys of the world could, and there would be a market for their services. He has almost 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, also ran for a touchdown today, and the game's still going on. But if they manage to keep Jaden Duke Scott, who has 86 yards rushing today, if they manage to keep the Teddy Hoffmans, I believe Wesley Grimes still has eligibility, Noah Rogers, if they keep a lot of their core and then add in some of the ways that they truly lacked this year, pass rush on defense, a few others, maybe we allow some talk of momentum into the next year. We allow some, hey, they finished last year, maybe they start next year strong. It just feels so maybe hollow because we've done that a lot with NC State over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And it seems like they almost follow the same path of everybody's excited because of the momentum from the end of the previous year. They give all that momentum away, and then they close with a vengeance to build up momentum for the next year. And you just keep going. It's like the water cycle. You just keep going around and around and around, and we keep getting tumbled in the laundry. But Teddy Hoffman has a 40-yard touchdown. Wesley Grimes had a long touchdown, took a big hit. Again, C.J. Bailey's playing really well. Duke Scott running pretty well. These are all guys that still have eligibility. If you can keep them all around, you can keep the offensive linemen that you want to keep around. There could be something there.
Just got to make some progress on defense.
True. And I'd have to look into it. Like, do the Devon Marshalls of the world, do they have because it's not all bad on defense. He is a senior. Let me check to see if he played a ton as a freshman. His game log has no official games, but he does have stats. So I don't know. If he has years, you want him back. They have a couple dudes, but yes, they do have to hit in the portal and in the high school world on defense. But again, the score, just give you a live update, 31-7. Memphis is out there on the field. There's less than 3 minutes to play in the third period. This would be the 8th win of the year for NC State if they can hold on, which it looks like they will. And I also want to just, for context, say this. Memphis
Memphis just fumbled it back.
In shambles.
Yeah.
Their coach left for Arkansas. They just tried to run a little cute reverse.
Yeah,
and
it was a busted play.
It didn't work out, and State got the ball back. So Memphis is aiding in this big win for NC State as much as NC State is getting it. Goodness gracious. He tried to pitch it when he was wrapped up entirely. It's okay to smile, Dave Doran. At least he took the glasses off for a second. Doesn't have to look at the play sheet. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
And so ready? Here's the snap. He will throw. Backpedals, looks to the left, escapes that way. Still looking downfield. Darian might run for it. To the pylon! Touchdown! Darian Mensah takes it in! What a time for his first rushing score this season.
Darian Mensah, news breaking today. He'll be back at Duke next year. Did at least have conversations about the possibility of turning pro, going to the NFL. He'll be back to Duke. Now, we talked earlier today about the decision on Darian Mensah's part, right? What it does for his draft stock, what it can do for his development, what he has shown, what he hasn't shown. I want to talk about it now from Duke's perspective. He's a really good quarterback. and they spent a good amount of money on him and took a chance, right? Because you never know what's going to translate from Tulane to a power conference. But he played really well. Led the ACC in passing touchdowns. Led the ACC in passing yards. Obviously led Duke to a win in the ACC championship. And he did all of that with a little bit of instability, right? He transferred, had to move. A couple of his wide receivers, Jarrell Anthony and Cooper Barkate, they showed up even later than he did out of the transfer portal. Cooper Barkate ended up being their most productive wide receiver. The thing I liked most about Darian Mensah, and this has been on the record since before the season, is he treats football as his profession, right? He gives pro vibes. Even though it's college, I think we're going to see that be more of a necessity from college quarterbacks, right? If they're getting paid big money, they're going to be responsible for the success and failure of your program. You're not going to want them to be taking it as anything other than super duper serious. Like I'll tell this quick little recollection. At ACC tip-off, we're talking with Darian Mensah, and he brought up that he took his receivers and they did I always think of Jets West. Mark Sanchez used to do it, and that was the first time really like a quarterback would take all his receivers and pass catchers in the offseason, not team official, somewhere on a vacation, and you'd wake up, you'd work out, you'd hit the field, you'd throw routes, and then you'd go bond, right? Then you'd go jet ski, then you'd go to a NBA game, then you'd go do something else, go out to dinner, right, and hang out. Darian Mensah did that with his Duke receivers. And I was like, okay, I think it was Tampa, if I'm not mistaken. He took him down to Tampa. And I went, wait a second, you're a West Coast kid, you were at Tulane, you're now in Durham. Why Tampa? He said, that's where my agent lives. And I went, oh, that's interesting, right? That's a very pro move. So with a full offseason, I'm fascinated by how much they can build and allow him to take more ownership over the offseason, right? More ownership over the offense. Get everybody going in the exact way he wants them to, and work with Jonathan Brewer, their offensive coordinator, which this is not insider information. I'm just throwing this out there as like a, hey, don't be surprised if. Hey, don't be surprised if Darian Mensah has a big year next year, and then suddenly their offensive coordinator, Jonathan Brewer, is being talked about for like a mid-major, I'm thinking basketball, a group of 5 head coaching job. Because those, wonderkin offensive minds that have great passing offenses, they get scooped up pretty quickly. So this next year could be a big year and a final year for more than just a quarterback. That is number 4. Also, how crazy is it that it's now news that the quarterback who signed for 2 years, $8 million is returning to collect the second half of that? Those numbers from CBS Sports. That's number 4. Let's get to number 3.
18 points and 15 rebounds, a career high in the win against Georgetown. Wilson spinning on the baseline and elevating for the jam.
There is a very busy college basketball weekend for the Triangle here this weekend. We'll go in chronological order. You just heard that was a Caleb Wilson highlight. Number 12 UNC will be taking on Ohio State in Atlanta tomorrow at 3 p.m. We've already talked about the big news of that one. Seth Trimble expected to be back in the lineup. He's been out with an injury, suffered in the weight room for quite some time now. So UNC, for the first time in a long time, the roster as they designed it, right? Very new, a lot of transfers, a lot of freshmen, big minutes this year, but they did always have Seth Trimble as that kind of returning centerpiece. So this will be first time in a while we see UNC as that roster has been designed. Again, against Ohio State in Atlanta tomorrow at 3 p.m. At Madison Square Garden tomorrow at 8 p.m., Duke, number 3 in the country, taking on number 19 in the country, Texas Tech. I love, and I've said this before, and every team can do however they want to. It's actually more of a conversation in college football now than college basketball. I really appreciate the way Duke schedules their non-conference. I believe your schedule should be a weapon, and every game there should be a purpose. There should be no, well, it was convenience. There should be no, we just wanted to buy a win, unless you feel like you need a win on that part of your calendar, right? Unless you want to guarantee that you're not, below 500 or whatever. Like, everyone should be pointed. Duke's schedule over the last 4, I think, has been intentional. Sorry, last 5, but 4 and then this Texas game. They played number 22 Arkansas, then number 15 Florida, then number 7 Michigan State, then Lipscomb after a long break, then number 19 Texas Tech. And I know, what was it? Florida was the ACC SEC challenge there, so that was kind of against their will, but I think they scheduled around it. That is 3 big-time programs that are expected to be very good every year. Lipscomb, Texas Tech. So first of all, you may look at it and just go 4 out of 5 are ranked opponents all in the top 20. Like, that is big test, resume builder. I also think they're all very different, right? I think you're trying to get different locations. Michigan State, true road game. Florida was at home. Texas Tech, Madison Square Garden. Was that Arkansas game? That was a Thanksgiving classic, and it was watched by everyone. It was Chicago. So it's this to me is their like little tournament run, right? Bunch of different teams. The what you did last night doesn't really pertain to what you're doing tonight. There's a big break in there. If you fall asleep against Lipscomb, well, there's no time to wake up because you get Texas Tech 4 days later. It's before conference play. There's a lot going on there. And as we said earlier, Texas Tech has a couple dudes. So, and you knew that, right? These are guys that were good and have been good. JT Toppin was the Big 12 Player of the Year last year. So going into this one, it's, to me, there's 2 types of really scary teams to play in March if you're in college basketball. One is team that's played together, bunch of veterans, smart, great college players. The other is this dude or these 2 dudes, these 3 dudes might beat you, and it doesn't really matter who else is on the court. They've faced a good amount of those, right? If you talk Florida, they got a couple dudes. They're the defending national champion. You know what they're bringing. You talk Michigan State, that's just going to be a lot of guys that play really quality basketball. Tom Izzo. Texas Tech, we were talking about earlier, Toppin and Anderson. Those are 2 guys that can carry a team deep into March, regardless of what else is happening on their roster. So there's a bit of a star power for Texas Tech, and it's in Madison Square Garden, so the star power is going to be raised anyway. And then the other game, again, we're going chronologically here. NC State versus Ole Miss. This is Sunday. It's another neutral court in Greensboro. So 3 all neutral courts, although Greensboro shouldn't be neutral. It should be leaning towards NC State. That's a 1 p.m. Sunday game. This game is all about how State reacts to Will Wade. Their head coach gave him the business in their post-game presser after their win over Texas Southern. I can't imagine what that's like as a player. My college coach was coach speak, right? I could have given his post-game pressers, and word for word, like if you looked at transcripts, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Like, do you think you're driving home? Because usually coaches speak to the players, then they go do their media. They might come in, say a few more things, but really you're separate there, right? Go home, enjoy the win. You think you're driving home and your phone just starts lighting up with like your buddies going like, goodness gracious, Will Wade just called you soft. What do you mean? Then you sit in your car, you pull over, you watch 4 minutes of Will Wade saying, we're not tough, we have no awareness, we're not alert, we're not this, we have no edge. They're smart, nice guys, but we're trying to play basketball, not run a daycare. Like, goodness gracious. Do you show up at practice the next day ready to fight? Like, I don't even know what to, like, how do you handle that?
We'll see if they're finally able to live up to the standards that Will Wade has apparently set. Such high standards that he's still disappointed after a 36-point win. And granted, it's against one of the worst low-major teams in all of college basketball, but
I mean, 30, like, you can't. What's the difference between a 35-point win and a 40-point win? 5 points. That's it. Like, there's no difference there.
I suppose that's true. There is one other game, another pretty big college basketball game going on in North Carolina this weekend. Wake Forest is taking on Vanderbilt at the Lawrence Joel Veterans Memorial Coliseum on Sunday. Same time as the NC State game. That's at 1 o'clock Sunday. Vanderbilt is led by Duke Miles, who is in his 6th year of college basketball. They are chock full of transfers.
Including one that we're familiar with.
2 that they're familiar with. Tyler Nickel and Jalen Washington, both
correct.
Former UNC Tar Heels that are now
playing
playing for
Tyler
Vanderbilt.
Nickel.
And friends of our fans of Friends will recognize Chandler Bing. They also have Chandler Bing.
Did you see his fun fact?
Yeah, but I assume he hasn't seen Friends.
Yeah,
is that it?
Chandler Bing's fun fact in the program has never watched an episode of Friends. His name is Chandler Bing, and he's in college now. So
yeah, Vandy's got an interesting roster. They got 3 guys named Tyler who are in their rotation. They've got all these transfers that used to play. A lot of them used to be in the ACC. There's just a lot of guys that have a ton of experience, and they're real nice. They're top 10 in net, ranked 13th in the AP poll right now. So that would be a big pickup for Wake, who has struggled to pick up some big wins and kind of had a struggle win against Longwood earlier this week.
Don't hate on Longwood. They got some. They went on a tournament run not long ago. But for Wake, Juke Harris, Miles Colvin, they've been having some explosive moments. Trayvon Spillers, App State transfer from a couple years ago. They've got some dudes as well. But I'm a big Steve Forbes fan. Like at some point, they always have like 4 dudes that I really like.
They got to break through and make the tournament at some point.
Yeah,
you got to figure they make it at some point.
They always have like 4 guys on the team that I'm like, they're good basketball players. They're top end guys, and it just doesn't ever quite get there. That's number 3. Let's hit number 2.
Just the 2 of us. Now Blake will find Stankoven. Back for Jackson Blake. Blake. Up for Nikish, and he enters it. They score on the power play. Taylor Hall out in front. A power play goal, and the Canes have a 2-0 lead.
So here's the deal. Canes play tonight against Florida. They play tomorrow against Tampa. You can hear all of that right here on 99.9 The Fan. Adam Gold with Stormwatch, with all of the insights half hour before the games, and then right into Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy on the broadcast. Max, I'm going to put you on the spot. I do this with Dennis, and you're sitting there, and you got a Canes hat on, and you see most of the game, so I'm trusting your preparedness. I need an if-then statement for just tonight. Canes-Panthers. If blank happens, right? It's like a Mad Lib. You got to fill it out. If blank happens, then the Canes will win the game against the Florida Panthers tonight.
I'll say if they can score a power play goal, they will win the game tonight.
How much do you think, and I love that answer, the power play and Sebastian Aho, to me, from a Canes fan perspective, I think are treated very similarly.
They're pretty intertwined. I mean, he is a crucial part of that power play.
Well, I'm not even saying like his production on power play. You'll see what I mean. Like, if Aho goes 3 games without a point, the sky is falling. And then if he has a game like last night, tonight, more confident in Sebastian Aho than anyone I've ever seen in my entire life. First goal scorer predictions. Aho in the first 2 minutes. Aho on a power play in the first. Aho in the first on a sweet feed from Jarvis. Aho in this. And I'm going like, you do realize 48 hours ago, you were pity-picking Sebastian Aho, hoping that it would bounce off his skate and go in because you were so down on Aho. And the power play is the same way, where if they go like 3 games without getting a power play goal, or without, I don't know, if you go like 4 games on a 10% power play, the world is coming to an end. They need to get Nikishin on the first power play. This guy's not working. That guy's not working. They need to get a power play coach. They need to change up this. And then they have a game where they go like 2 of 4. And then, the power play is back. Everybody is good. And it's just swings aggressively in that. No one, like, for no other part does it do that.
It really hasn't been that bad since like the opening stretch of the season. They're up to 15.5%, which is good for tie for 26th in the league. So obviously, it's not great. It's not ideal, but I mean,
You're only on the stairs into the basement, not all the way there.
Yeah, but they're only a couple percentage points away from being right around average. Like Florida, for example, is ranked at 16th in the NHL. Their power play hits at 19.1%. So it's like a 3.5% difference. And then when you factor in the fact that the Hurricanes just don't get as many opportunities on the power play as a lot of other teams. For what reason that is, I'll never know. But
now say it with your chest. The refs disrespect the Canes.
It reduces the number of chances, and when you already have a smaller number of chances and you're not hitting at a high rate, obviously it's going to seem like you're scoring on the power play less and less. Or you will be, but
Yeah, so it's not that big of a deal, but yet you said it's crucial to them beating the Florida Panthers.
Well, it just feels like on the nights when they are scoring on the power play, that they have it figured out, that they're locked in together. The pucks are finding the tape. The shots are getting on net. They're getting the majority of the shot volume, which they typically are. If you wanted another one, though, if they can shut down Brad Marchand, don't let him be the one that beats you, because he's been their MVP this year for sure.
I thought this was funny, and this will be my last point on it. If you go to like an ESPN preview, usually it's ESPN.com. I go there to always check times and locations for games and things. For their preview, there's a little graphic of who leads the team in points, assists, and goals. And right now, the way it stands, for Florida, leader in points, Brad Marchand. Leader in goals, Brad Marchand. Leader in assists, Brad Marchand. For the Canes, they have 3 different dudes. Aho leads them in points, Jarvis leads them in goals, and Gostisbehere leads them in assists. So I think that kind of shows, maybe the differences in what the Canes do versus what everyone else does. Most other guys have one dude that's a lot of like stirring of the drink, and the Canes are like, no, actually we all kind of have our roles and we do it a little differently.
Brad Marchand he's really turning back the clock. 37 points in 32 games. He hasn't had a point per game or better season since 2022. And now he's on pace for I don't have the projection directly in front of me, but it's got to be like a 90-something point season. Yeah, he's on pace for 92 points right now as a 37-year-old. He will turn 38 in May.
If you retire to Florida, suddenly the warm weather, your joints feel a little bit better. All of a sudden, you're back out on the pickleball court. All of a sudden, you're out there. You got an extra 10 yards on your drive. Just had to move down from the north. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. That was fun. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hit you with it again, Max. Let's see what you can come up with. Panthers-Bucs, so much on the line as far as postseason. So much on the line as far as bragging rights in a division. So much on the line for Bryce Young. If blank happens, then the Carolina Panthers beat the Bucs and take the leg up in the division. What did our power just flickered here?
Oh yeah. I'll say if Bryce Young does not have any turnovers, I think the Panthers win against the Buccaneers on Sunday. If he plays a clean game, even though he kind of did against the Saints and they still lost.
The only thing I'll say, and I'll add to this, and I do this for every quarterback, this is not just a Bryce thing. Can I tweak yours a little bit?
Go ahead.
Turnovers that are his fault?
Yeah, like tipped interceptions and stuff like that. Like that's notwithstanding.
And going through a wide receiver's hands, being intercepted. Not just like usually, if it's high and hot on a short crosser or something like that, I put that on the quarterback, right? Every tip pass that's intercepted is not on the quarterback. But, there was one early in the year, I think it was to Tedero McMillan, where McMillan basically handed it to the defense.
Yeah, it was in the Cowboys game. I was at that one.
And
he just dropped it straight to the defensive back.
And then the world is like, another Bryce turnover. And I'm like, well, I like criticizing Bryce as much as the next guy, and we can be honest about him, but that's you can't put that on him.
He has been playing mostly clean ball recently. It's just variety of other external factors that are kind of preventing the team from winning in those games.
Let's pause for the superstitious people amongst us to knock on wood and throw some salt over the shoulder, spin around 3 times and spit, whatever you do. I'm not superstitious, so I don't mind it. If I were to if-then statement the Panthers, I think I want to put 4 yards per carry by running backs. At least 4 yards. That's, by the way, not asking for the moon, the sun, and the stars. Right? I'm not asking for, there were games where Rico Dowdle had like an 8 or 9 yard per carry. I think if they get to 4 for the running backs, right? This past week they did okay in the running game as a whole, but that was buoyed by a lot of Bryce Young scrambles, which were effective. If Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle combined to be 4 yards per carry or better, I think that means everything's going in their direction. They can build their offense off of it. It makes the passing game easier, and everything else can roll. So that would be my if-then statement, but obviously, Bryce Young playing a clean game would go a long way as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the starting five. We need numbers game contestants. It is your last chance during the numbers game to win a complimentary family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar Fire and Ash at participating theaters near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. If you want to win the tickets, you got to play the numbers game. If you want to win the numbers game, you got to call in now. The number, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. I said that weird. 860-5326. There you go. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Hey, folks. Dennis Cox, my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I know the calendar is about to turn into 2026. People want to get on that weight loss journey. I say, why wait? Contact Raleigh Weight Loss Center right now. 919-897-7506. 919-897-7506. Or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com and go ahead and get started on the weight loss journey now. Why wait? Also, contact them today. Use the promo code LOSEIT. Today's your last day to save 20% on the plan. So give them a call. 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Use the promo code LOSEIT to save 20%. I've used the program over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've lost 42 pounds. But most importantly, in that 4 months where I've lost the 42 pounds, I've kept the weight off. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Get on the program now. Use the promo code LOSEIT. Results may vary.
Listen every afternoon for The Drive with Tim Donnelly.
I think we can officially say the 8th overall pick for the Carolina Panthers was a success. Dan Morgan knew what he was doing. Teteroa McMillan only needed one catch to change the game against the Rams, and they need to continue to work to give him more opportunities to change the game in the future. He is a difference maker. They need him to make a difference.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 3 to 6 on 99.9 The Fan.
Excuse me, garçon. I'll pick up the tab for the lady and I.
Sir, this is Monopoly money.
And there's more where that came from.
I'm calling the cops.
Don't waste your time. I have a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Start playing for real money. New Monopoly scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery have real cash wins of up to $1 million. Monopoly is a trademark of Hasbro. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.83 to 4.28. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, it's Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for the Butcher's Market. And you know the holidays are here, and if you're looking for the perfect gift, I've got you covered. A membership to the Butcher's Market Steak of the Month Club. You'll get a different hand-cut steak every month for 6 months. Some serious holiday sizzle. And there's more to celebrate. The Butcher's Market was just awarded the North Carolina Small Business Retailer of the Year. With 5 Triangle locations, it's easy to shop local this season. Visit thebutchersmarkets.com. That's thebutchersmarkets.com.
You know how to tell that you've picked a great gift? When you love to get it yourself. Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here with a great idea. Give Buffalo Brothers gift cards. Whenever I'm back in the Triangle, I make a beeline for Buffalo Brothers to get my wing fix, and it's my go-to spot for gifts and stocking stuffers. Now through December 24th, buy a $40 gift card for someone special and get a $10 gift card for you. Now that's a deal, baby. Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Are you looking for the perfect holiday gift? Did you know that Bailey's has something for everybody and every budget? Sure, we're known for our designer jewelry, fine diamonds, and luxury watches, but we also have a vast selection of jewelry and gifts under $500. Add a little sparkle with the popular Sterling Collection Pave Diamond Hoops or Pave Diamond Cushion Pendant Necklace, both for only $175 each. Show your love with our Icon Collection Diamond Open Heart Ring for $375. Or stick with something classic, like Akoya Pearl Studs starting at just $165. Bailey's is your go-to destination for holiday shopping. We're proud to make gift giving easy since 1948 and to be voted Best Jeweler year after year. Located in Raleigh's Village District, Carey's Fenton, also in Rocky Mount and Greenville and Charlotte. Every woman wants a Bailey box under the tree.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we have a excellent prize on the line here. The prize for today, a family 4-pack of Fandango tickets to see Avatar, Fire and Ash at a participating theater near you. That is all courtesy of 20th Century Studios. The contestants that'll be battling it out with jersey number trivia are Jeff in Raleigh and Bishop in Cary. We have Jeff and Bishop. As always, we'll bring them each onto the phone, or onto the air, I should say, on the phone lines. Ask them the same question. Max will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer, and that person will get to go first. Jeff, are you ready?
I am.
All right, the question is, with it being Friday, what are you looking forward to most about the upcoming weekend? But because we are a sports show, make sure it somehow relates to sports.
It's all about the Canes, or pardon me, the Panthers this week.
All right, all about the Canes. Any follow-ups? Nope, we're good.
No, it's the Panthers.
Oh, it's all about the Panthers?
Yes.
Okay, we Canes and Panthers. Probably could have done well with either of them. All right, we'll see if it holds up, Jeff. That brings us to Bishop and Cary. Bishop, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, same question to you. It is a Friday, so looking towards the weekend, what are you looking forward to most? But because we're a sports show, make sure it's sports-related.
I'm a Broncos fan, so I'm going to go to the Broncos-Jaguars game.
All right, Broncos, Jags. Max, those are your options. We have it's all about the Panthers or Broncos, Jags.
It's a little bit of indecision for Jeff, and that Broncos Jags game has big AFC implications. So we'll let Bishop go first here.
If I believe this is true, if Sean Payton and the Broncos win, he joins. Now I'm balking at. There's something that he joins with Bill Belichick as far as like 13 wins or something like that, but I don't remember the exact stat, so I'm going to bail on this one. But we do know that means Bishop gets to go first. So Bishop, are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah.
All right, the categories are NFL players known for their drip, NFL players known for gift giving, NBA players that are born south of the equator, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
I'm going to go the NFL gift-giving one.
All right, these are all players who have famously given some gifts. We'll explain the gifts they've given after you're done participating. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Joe Burrow, Cincinnati Bengals.
9.
Correct. Brock Purdy, San Francisco 49ers.
13.
Correct. Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings.
29.
Incorrect. Anthony Walker, Miami Dolphins.
18.
Incorrect. Adrian Peterson, Minnesota Vikings.
28.
Correct. Derrick Henry, Tennessee Titans.
22.
Correct. Anthony Walker, Miami Dolphins.
17.
Incorrect. Anthony Walker, Miami Dolphins.
14.
Incorrect. Anthony Walker, Miami Dolphins.
12.
Incorrect. Anthony Walker, Miami Dolphins.
11.
You were moving in the right direction. We needed more time. Anthony Walker, number 6 is what we were looking for, but you got 4 out of 5, which is a solid number. For those of you playing at home, we would have accepted 13 or 14 for Brock Purdy. He's won both in his career. But 4 out of 5 is the number to beat. Go ahead and stand the line, Bishop. We'll see if it holds up. And also, just to complete the players known for gift giving, the famous gifts that they gave their teammates. Joe Burrow gave his offensive lineman katana swords, like real cool. He had like a sword maker. Brock Purdy, actually they were old, right? They all had some history with them, some samurai history. Brock Purdy gave his offensive lineman trucks. I believe that was part of a endorsement deal. Adrian Peterson gave his offensive lineman snowmobiles. Anthony Walker, there's a viral video. He gave many of his teammates their high school jerseys, kind of like custom made. And Derrick Henry gave his Titans teammates custom gold chains. I believe after he ran for 2,000 yards, he gave them all like their own jersey numbers and stuff. Either way, that is a 4 out of 5, solid number. We now move to Jeff in Raleigh, see if he can best that one. Jeff, are you ready to pick a category?
I am, sir.
All right. The categories are NFL players that are known for their drip, meaning their swag and fashion, NBA players born south of the equator, or NHL Hurricanes throughout history.
NFL, and I'm just going to say I got 0 chance. I'm trying to stay positive, but 4 is not a number. That's like 3 different.
Well, Jeff, you're doing a not very good job trying to stay positive, by giving yourself a 0% chance.
I'm not very positive. I'm not good at this, but
hey, I'm not going to let you talk anymore because I don't like the negativity getting too close to the competition.
I hear you, man.
So I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need all 5 for the win, but give it your best shot. Staying optimistic. Any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
12.
Incorrect. Nick Chubb, Houston Texans.
30.
Incorrect. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
Pass.
Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons.
81.
Incorrect. Nick Chubb, Houston Texans.
28.
Incorrect. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers.
9.
Incorrect. Kyle Pitts, Atlanta Falcons.
18.
Jeff, I'm not going to say if you changed your mindset you would have won, but I think you would have avoided the shutout. I think you would have avoided the shutout if you went in there a bit more optimistically. Unfortunately, 0, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun, Jeff.
Always. I appreciate you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, and good luck next time. That means Bishop in Cary is the winner. Bishop, congratulations.
Awesome. Thank you.
4 tickets to see Avatar Fire and Ash, Fandango tickets to see Avatar Fire and Ash at a participating theater near you, courtesy of 20th Century Studios. Stay on the line, and Max will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. All right, there you go. I mean, that's an all-time oxymoron right there, right? Like the all-time, I'm trying to be optimistic. I have an absolutely 0% chance. Instant classic jumbo shrimp, right? Just it doesn't add up. But I do enjoy the banter, and I enjoy being a good sport, even in the face of defeat. Haven't always been meaning me, haven't always been described as a good loser in my life, and there's something to be said for that. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that participates in the numbers game, really all year, right, as we get near the end of the year. But especially the ones that are good sports about it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to send you into the weekend the right way. That's with Making Picks. Stick around. Up next.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today. Powered by Aspire Money Management.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
What does it mean to win this award to you?
It means a lot to me, just being recognized for all my hard work on and off the court.
The Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month from 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union. To nominate your athlete, text AWARD to 919-860-5326.
Your Carolina Hurricanes are taking to the ice this holiday season, and they've got a chance for you to be part of the action. Enter today to win 2 tickets to see the Canes take on the Canadiens on New Year's Day. Register to win at hurricanes.com/radio.
Hey, it's Meredith at Mensah Jewelers in Garner, and it's time to start updating those wish lists because Christmas is right around the corner. But don't worry, we have you covered. Our store is fully stocked with beautiful and unique pieces anyone surely would love. And if you're thinking of popping the big question this Christmas, we have handpicked the most brilliant diamonds. Plus, all of our diamonds have the low price guarantee, so there's no risk or stress. And that's why we have been voted the Triangle's ultimate bridal destination. So come in and see us today. We are located right off of Highway 70 in Garner and at MensahJewelers.com.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Shakey's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Shakey's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Shakey's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
How else would we end the show but with Michael McDonald when Max is producing? I talk about this often enough on the air, Max, that it's becoming like your reputation. Salespeople are stopping me and going like, who would have guessed Michael McDonald and Max? Wouldn't peg that.
Man, they can't get me some kind of endorsement for like...
What, Michael McDonald?
I don't know. Like I think he still tours.
That's funny.
We need to get him on a show.
That's funny. We should. Let's see. Let's quickly look.
We
up
need to reach
Michael
out to his people. I assume he has people still. If he's still touring,
he's got to be. Yeah, of course. Let's see. Let's see if when he's coming to the area. He has an official website, so that's close. He's playing Fort Lauderdale in January, and that's it. Think they need to sell tickets to a Fort Lauderdale Michael McDonald ticket in?
Well, if they need to, they know who they can reach out to.
We'll send a correspondent. For those of you that don't know, Max is just a 20-something-year-old huge Michael McDonald fan, and it fascinates me, so I talk about it all the time. To update you, NC State continues to lead the Gasparilla Bowl 31-7. It's been that score for a while now. About 4.5 minutes left in the game. The Wolfpack look like they will be comfortably winning their 8th game of the year, which did not look like a likelihood at times this season. 8 games. A definite glow up from where they were at their lowest this year. So credit to them for scrapping and clawing and fighting and doing all of that. Also, I do want to let everybody know I am taking next week off for the holiday, so I will not be in here. You'll be well taken care of. There'll be a ton of bowl coverage and Max, Dennis, Paul, the squad will like I always say.
I'm pretty sure there's not going to be any live sports talk until Friday next week.
All right, well, there you go. On Friday, it'll be well taken care of.
Don't quote me on that. I know for a fact next up, which is our 9 to 10 show with Paul Ihander, that show will not be returning until Friday.
Well, there you go.
And I think Adam Gold is going to be all best ofs next week as well.
Either way.
I'm not positive, but that's just what I think I've heard.
Don't be alarmed if you tune in and you hear something unusual. But also there's a bunch of bowl games and stuff, so that would be on air anyway. But I do want to take just a minute. Right, holiday season, you get real grateful. I'll be back before the end of the year. I'll be back on air before the new year, so I'm not going to do any end of the year lists or anything. But just holidays make you thankful. Thank you to everybody behind the scenes here that keeps our show up and running. The sales staff, which we just mentioned, the big bosses whose names some of you might know, but too many to list here. But Paul Ihander, our program director, Dennis Cox, who's our traditional producer here, Victoria, Max, who fill in and produce here, Adam Gold. Obviously, we have a lot of crossover there. There's a lot of good people, social media, promotions, everybody. So thank you to all of them, and most importantly, the listeners. Y'all are the reason we get to do this, and we have a good time with it. So thank you, appreciate it. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff. And just to end the sappiness and move on, let's make some picks before the end of the week. Max, set them up.
All right, well, tonight we have the first round game of the college football playoff. It is between Oklahoma and Alabama. That's going to be out there in Norman, Oklahoma. It actually flipped. It started with Alabama, opened as a 1.5-point favorite. It has switched over to Oklahoma, is now a 1.5-point favorite. For those who don't remember, Oklahoma went to Alabama this year in the regular season and got the win in Tuscaloosa, so Alabama will be looking to return the favor. That game's at 8 o'clock tonight. As far as our coverage of that game will be available, I believe, on 6:20 a.m. Buzz Sports Radio for those who want to listen along. So, Tim, the Tide and the Sooners, who do you got in the first CFP game tonight?
Gosh, I mean, this is one I'd answer a question with a question. Is this going to be good Ty Simpson or bad Ty Simpson? His regression has been dramatic. Talking to the quarterback of Alabama, coming off a rough one against Georgia. I think I'm going to go Oklahoma, but I just put on Front Street. I will not be betting my own money on this one. I think it's a pretty even matchup. And with that, I'll stay away. But if you make me pick, I think it's Oklahoma. It's in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, it's at Norman.
So home team gets the edge by a little bit.
I think Alabama returns the favor for the regular season and gets the win. They got Jam Miller back playing. He was not as effective in the second half of the season for Alabama, but it's going to be. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. So whoever can make the one big play on offense could be the difference maker. And I think Jam Miller is a guy who could do that. So
when's the last time Oklahoma played? They haven't played in 2 or 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, since at least before conference championship week.
If Mateer is healthy, that might be huge. Their quarterback, he's battled a lot this year.
He hasn't been great this year. I know he has been dealing with injuries to his hand, but he's not.
He
been
was
a great
really
year for
good
John
early
Mateer.
on. He had the big hand injury, and then was not this. He really wasn't the same from that point forward. Maybe they're willing to run him a little bit more. He had like 800 yards last year rushing at Washington State. So. And their schedule is brutal. They played a bunch of really tough games at the end. I'm getting more confident now. I might bet on Oklahoma. I won't, but I'm going to talk about it more.
All right, we'll go to Saturday. We got the lone ACC representative in the college football playoff. Miami is going to College Station to take on Texas A&M. A&M is a 3.5-point favorite in this game. That one is going to be a noon kickoff between the Hurricanes and the Aggies. Who do you have between Miami and Texas A&M?
I do have a question. Are we sure Texas A&M is good?
We're getting to the picks here, but I personally am picking Miami in this game.
Texas A&M is one of those teams. If they lose, there's going to be a lot of people that then realize schedule not the toughest, maybe not had to have a dramatic comeback against South Carolina.
They picked up their best win was at Notre Dame, but if for those who don't remember how the game kind of played out, they won by 1 point, and this is really because a guy missed an extra point.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami. I don't know if Miami is like a world beater, but I think we know they got something to them. And Carson Beck has played much better the last month of the season than he did earlier on, and he was hurt all offseason. I don't think some forget that. So, yeah, give me Miami to upset Texas A&M and Casey Concepcion, former NC State wide receiver, is having a really good year for NC State or for Texas A&M.
Yes, he won the Paul Hornung Award for I think it's the most versatile player in college football.
AP first team All-American.
Good for him. Well, good to see guys can go on to continue to have good success, and who knows, maybe he'll be able to extend that to the professional level of football, but only time will tell. 2 more CFP games tomorrow. These are not expected to be as close, but if you'd like to make a pick on them, feel free. If you have some sort of bold take, we didn't get to our real bold predictions earlier because we had to pick our final winner for CanesMas, but Tulane taking on Ole Miss in Oxford. That game is at 3:30 tomorrow, and then James Madison heads to Autzen Stadium in Eugene to face Oregon. Ole Miss is 17.5-point favorite over Tulane. Beat them very handily in the regular season, but that was with Lane Kiffin and everybody in the coaching staff intact, and Oregon favored by 20.5 points in that final first-round game. Expecting any upsets in either of these 2 games, Tim?
I'm not. I do wish that JMU and Tulane were able to be more stable. Like they could have kept their coaches, kept some of their players a little bit more committed and a little bit less frantic, so there would be a better chance. Oregon's losing both coordinators, right? Ole Miss has lost Lane Kiffin. I believe Trinidad Chambliss has indicated, their quarterback, that he'll likely be going into the portal. Don't quote me on that, though. I wish that there was a huge stability advantage for the group of 5, but it's really even there. All 4 teams are kind of in chaos. So with that being even, I think the bigger teams win, and probably by a bunch.
Yeah, I feel like Oregon wins running away, but who knows? They could surprise us. And
JMU hasn't beat a power conference opponent.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm worried about.
They only played one, and they lost by 14 to Louisville, and that's before Louisville kind of caught whatever groove they were on there for a little bit.
Exactly. All right, well, let's go to the hardwood now, and we'll go like we did earlier on during the starting 5. We'll go in chronological order, so we'll start with the North Carolina Tar Heels. They're going to Atlanta to take on Ohio State in the CBS Sports Classic. That game is at 3 o'clock tomorrow. UNC favored by 3.5 points, and got the news earlier today that Seth Trimble will be returning from injury and will be in the lineup for the Heels. Is Carolina going to get it done down there in Atlanta against the Buckeyes?
I was surprised to see ESPN's matchup predictor, which is an analytics-based prediction, tool, actually has Ohio State a little over a 52% chance to win. So this, that's close to a pick 'em. But no, I think UNC wins. I think they have the right mental makeup this year, and Seth Trimble returning will just be an energy boost for a team that already seems to be kind of Energizer Bunny-ish with some energy. They don't lack for juice, and Seth Trimble will give them a little more. So yeah, give me UNC to win.
Yeah, I think they will handle business against Ohio State. Though Ohio State's no slouch this year. They've also improved year
Thornton
over
scoring
year.
22 a game.
Yes,
that's a big time score.
And their only losses, they lost on a buzzer beater at Pitt, and then they lost by 8 points to a very solid Illinois team that's going to be a high seed come March. So
even more impressive, Thornton. I think his first name is Bruce. I saw he's shooting 60% from the field, and he's like 6'1".
Yeah, he's 6'2", and he shoots 60% from the field.
That's unreal. Granted, that might be why Seth Trimble's gonna play today, right? Because I would assume if he's 100%, he'll get that defensive assignment, and he's done pretty well against those kind of guards in the past.
From Atlanta, we go to New York and Madison Square Garden, where Duke will face off with Texas Tech. That game is at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Duke pretty heavily favored in this one. 8.5-point favorites over the Red Raiders. That's a top 25 team they're going up against with two very solid players in JT Toppin and Christian Anderson, but it seems the Vegas and matchup predictors alike favor the Blue Devils pretty heavily. Are they going to get it done up there against the Red Raiders and remain undefeated?
Yeah, I think they will. I mean, Duke had their whoa, what's going on here moment early against Lipscomb. 10 days off, obviously start a little slow. The Texas Tech will have their full attention. And I believe Duke will get the win. Also, it's Madison Square Garden, home away from home.
It's basically a home game for Duke.
All that stuff that everybody says every time they play there. So, yeah, give me Duke. It'll be a big nationally watched game, 8 o'clock Saturday, MSG, but Shire will have them ready and they'll win.
Will they call a travel on JT Toppin in the game?
Yeah. I mean, it's
over half a travel.
It's practically a home game. So, Shire will work the ref, and the crowd will get behind him a little bit.
All right, well, we got a back-to-back for the Carolina Hurricanes this weekend. They're in Florida. Both games are in Florida, but they're playing against Florida, the Panthers, tonight. That game's at 7. You can listen to it right here on 99.9 The Fan with Stormwatch starting at 6:30. And then tomorrow they will go across the state to Tampa to take on the Lightning. We want to see the Canes win, but do you think we're coming away with all 4 points here in this Florida swing, or maybe drop one in overtime? Any particular predictions for these games?
They haven't been to a shootout in one whole game, so they're due. I think they split them. Those two teams on the road back to back.
Tampa's kind of cold right now.
True, but you know that on the second half of back to back, they're going to at least bring the intensity to you. I think they split them, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's a inverse split. But yeah, I think that if you make me pick 2 or 3 points,
give me 2 wins, baby. Give me overtime tonight, and then
overtime, no fatigue shown the next day. They win anyway.
Yeah, well, look, this team's been good in the second half of back-to-backs under Rod Brindamore. All right, and with 2 minutes to go here in the show, we will finish up.
Does that prove true when the first one's overtime?
I'm not sure. I'd have to dive
deeper
into the stats on that. We'll finish up here with the Carolina Panthers with a chance to get back into pole position when it comes to winning the NFC South. They're taking on the Buccaneers at Bank of America Stadium on Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock. And that game is actually going to be on 99.9 The Fan. Normally it's on our family station, Mix 101.5. But this week we will have the Panthers right here on The Fan. They are underdogs at home. 3-point underdogs to the Bucs, who have been ice cold. I believe won just one of their last 6 games. Panthers just can't seem to string 2 wins or 2 losses in a row together. Are they going to get it done here and get back into first place in the NFC South?
Yeah, I think they win this one. I remember early in this year, I picked them to win a couple games, and I felt like I was out on an island. I actually think it's a popular pick this week. I think they win. I think it's a running game that drives it, and then everybody gives Bryce the credit. But I think they win. I think Tampa's vulnerable, and with that being the case, they can sneak one in, and then it'll all come down to Week 17 for the division.
I don't have faith in them to win, but right when I give up and think they have no chance is always when they surprise us and win. So I'm going to fade myself thinking that they're going to win. I'm thinking that they're going to lose. Yeah, I'm going to Costanza it And I'm going to say they're going to win because I think they're actually going to lose. So that way I always come up on top.
Hey, there you go. I think they're going to. I hope they're going to. You can mix it all up and come out victorious either way. Monday, the show may be back. It may not. I will not be here next week. So enjoy bowl week. Enjoy the holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. All of that. Please subscribe to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. You get your fill of content there. And we'll see you next time, closer to the new year. Until then, happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Move your sports day forward.
You know the story of A Christmas Carol, the ghosts of past, present, and yet to come. We can tie it a bit to the Panthers season, the past, innocence by fans, big expectations, new faces, the present, a roller coaster ride of Bryce is our guy, or maybe not. Only the yet to come could be different than the Christmas tale. Unlike Scrooge, we actually care about December games.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for John Heister Chevrolet in Fuquay Arena. You know, people are asking us, how are you selling so many cars all of a sudden? Well, did you know that the Beltline has opened up the outer loop? We're only 28 minutes from Knightdale. We're only 19 minutes from Clayton and 15 minutes from Apex. We're now the most convenient Chevrolet dealership to reach in the Triangle. It's just one more reason to get off your keister and come to Heister.
Now at John Heister Chevrolet, get $10,000 off a new 2026 Silverado 1500. See dealer for details. Together, let's drive.
Take a deep breath and visualize. It's this weekend. You just